All right, to begin with, the most important part of any D&D session, randomly rolling who did the recap. Hey, Puma, go for it.
Hi. Last session, after escaping from the manor with Tushiyuki and four, we regrouped in the Tandem Imperium. There, we decided what to do with our prisoners turned guests. Ultimately, we helped four by Karuto letting him use the bottle. We also set Tushiyuki free. With that resolved, we began to take downtime, each of us doing different things throughout Dulveran. The Tandem Imperium came back, and as a result, we were kicked out of the guild hall for at least a day. We found lodging, and now we're deciding what to do next.
Would anyone like to add anything?
Fuck the golden leaf.
That is completely reasonable. Secondly, I want to point out that, Six, you also agreed to get very drunk with Permelia.
I did indeed, after discussing a sensitive topic.
Using Karuto's drink. I only mention this because we're going to open back in with Karuto, Permelia, and Six coming up to you late at probably evening, not really that late night, 6, 7 p.m., asking if they could drink a bunch of your sake to see if it's truly endless.
Yeah, Karuto, Permelia wants to get drunk, and I said you had an infinitely refilling bottle of sake, so
Karuto just sort of looks sort of mildly bemused, a little confused, because, well, I don't think it has run out yet, so maybe it is.
So party time?
Do we want to invite everyone else to talk about this, or just get very drunk?
Sure, let's get everybody.
Oh, no.
What, do you not want to?
No, it's fine. I'm just worried exactly how... I don't think I've seen most of you drunk before, except my girlfriend, and,
Oh, are you guys official?
What?
Are you official?
You know this!
Huh. Okay, I'm gonna go get everybody.
Somebody say alcohol?
Yeah, sake.
Don't know what the fuck that is, but sure.
Me either, but I want some.
For the sake of some brevity, who decides to go to the room party, apparently?
It's like a convention.
Sure, why not?
To remind us, Lostra, we're using the new rules. You can now officially get drunk.
Oh, really? Awesome.
Fantastic.
Navali will join.
How about you, Rev?
I'm looking through my notes to see. I'm gonna roll for it because I think he's still going through his book of family history. So
Definitely still is.
Nerd.
yeah, he'll go. This is team building. It's important.
That's an icebreaker activity.
So,
Right, next we're going to do trustfuls.
just to make sure everyone knows exactly what's happening, you had incredible trouble finding an inn, and then when one of them took pity on you, you all decide to crowd into a single room to get drunk.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure we're all on the same page. Continue.
Once people start filtering in, Karuto happily starts pouring cups of sake.
I'm just going to have to ask the question, does everyone drink sake, or does anyone try to actually get something else?
Rev will try it.
Yeah, I'll try it. If it tastes like shit, then maybe not.
Sure.
Does anyone not try it? Sounds like that's a no. I need everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Sweet.
Yay!
Woohoo.
It's lost with advantage.
Excellent.
Ironically, I also have to ask this weird question. Who is within 10 feet of Navali?
Aren't we all crammed into the same room?
You know what? You all get +2 to this.
Yeah! Oh, it's beautiful.
Why are the cats the only one who... Cats and Permelia the only ones who succeeded, though?
Well, if it's a 10 test, then I add 2 to that, and it's 10.
Oh no, it was 14.
Oh, okay. This is some good sake.
The original taste of it is kind of grainy in a lot of ways, though there's a subtle sweetness to it, and then almost a floral burn as it goes down. The first drink causes some of you to realize, oh, this is really strong, because after a few minutes go by, you can actually slightly feel the buzz. I wouldn't say you're drunk, but you're on the way to there for sure, anyone who rolled below 14.
Jesus Christ, Karuto. No wonder you guys have visions drinking this shit.
This is a little stronger than I'm used to, but it is of good quality.
This tastes weird, but good weird?
Well, let's give it the old test to see if it's truly endless or not. Maybe it'll taste better over time.
Karuto nods and refills everyone's mugs. Well, cups even.
Do we roll again?
Celestra quietly
Yes.
accepts more.
Oh my lord.
All right, Constitution.
Oof.
Yo!
Oh, it's beautiful.
Oh boy.
Karuto, what the hell? This is amazing.
Okay, congratulations to basically everyone except 6 Permelia and Navali, who are now quite drunk. Rev, you're only feeling tipsy. The rest of you immediately start to feel it coursing through your veins. Your body goes numb in a lot of ways, and you are drunk. It has been maybe 15 minutes. You've had 2 shots. I know none of you are lightweights. This is a very strong drink. In fact, the lightest weight here is Navale, and she's doing better, probably just rallying because Permelia seems fine.
Must not embarrass myself in front of girlfriend.
Not again.
Is it suggested that such a thing would be like the poisoned condition?
Yes.
Would I be able to try to shake it off using my poisonous warding? I know I've already been inflicted.
I would allow you.
Oh, well, it's as an action I become immune for 1 minute. So I don't know if it is temporary or if it watches my system.
What would be is you could essentially become sober for that minute.
Nah, never mind. Also, just realize it's poison damage. It's not even. Okay.
Are we seeing any stuff?
You're feeling tipsy, and you're noticing a lot of your friends are certainly starting to slur their words, with the exception of, honestly, the people who make the most sense of why they're not affected by this, because they drink way more than everybody else.
Yeah.
And Karuto is looking pretty flushed. Well, I think it is. We have poured more than could really fit in here, so I feel it is bottomless. Yes.
I think we should keep finding out. And Permelia just puts your small little glass in front of you again.
Karuto does his best to pour it without spilling any.
I would like you to roll me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, saving
Not
throw, okay.
perfect. Dexterity is just fine.
Yeah.
13. It's fine. You can tell that, at the very least, your training prevents you from spilling. you have to think really hard, and everyone can notice that you're much slower at doing this and going, I got this. I got this.
Are you okay, Carita?
Yes, I am fine. Absolutely fine.
He's so drunk.
Maybe
I'm
we
drunk.
should get some water.
Bread, probably.
Wait. I can do that.
What?
I'm going to.
Please roll me religion as you cast this spell.
I can do that now. Religion. Ah, yes, my best stat. Where'd you go?
Paint me a
Wow, okay.
picture of how food and water, about 45 pounds of it if you want, appears in front of you.
Now you gotta eat and drink this in 24 hours, or else it all goes. It poofs.
Neval, how long have you been able to do this?
Yeah, what the fuck?
To be clear, this is a lot of food and a lot of water in a very tight room. It is you are surrounded by bread and gallons of water.
I don't know that I like this.
Why did we pay that bakery for all that food?
Well, it only lasts for 24 hours, so unless I need to go back to the orphanage every day and poof 45 pounds of food. I don't know, can orphans eat 45 pounds of food? I don't think they can.
I'm
Depends on how many
not sure.
orphans.
but good bread.
You say it's good bread. It tastes completely flavorless and is kind of stale, actually.
Good bread.
As for how long I've been able to do this, I received a dream, and then I could do it. Bread rained from the skies.
The fuck is she talking about?
Do you
don't
have the
know.
dream often? Was it just this? You know what? I don't
No.
want to know.
No, I don't dream of bread raining down from skies often.
I suppose after our harrowing experience at the manor, it was all good and well now that you can solve our dietary problems.
It's been 3 days. When did you have this dream?
I don't remember. I wish it tasted better.
I assume you say this as you are very sadly realizing how bland your bread is.
Yup.
Maybe you can find a way to, I don't know, doctor it up, carry something with you. I don't know. I'm reaching. This is weird.
What the fuck are we doing again? And Butcher says out
Drinking.
loud.
Have another one.
No, I'm fine.
No, it's okay. It's endless. Go ahead.
Peer pressure. Butcher will allow it to be poured, but he chooses not to drink it.
I'll actually have to ask, does anyone drink another shot, as you're starting to feel very drunk already?
Rev will.
6 will.
Celestia.
Oh no.
Okay.
I would like to ask if Permelia is encouraging Navali to drink more.
She is... You know what? Roll me insight.
Alright.
With disadvantage.
With disadvantage, makes sense. Alright.
She is on her 4th shot, and she seems completely fine. Clearly, you can't let her just do this. There must be some... She's trying to encourage you to drink more. That must be the only explanation.
It must be. Yeah!
Could you also roll
Navali-
for Perm twice, please?
Navali
she's-
took that shot like a champ.
She's on her 4th one.
Yes.
I did sneak her 3rd one up here earlier. She rolled a 15
Oh,
plus
yep,
two
still
deception.
fine. Of course she is.
Oh, finally!
Finally, she is slightly tipsy as Karuto looks like he's about to pass out pouring all of this, and the rest of you are starting to feel a little drunk, with the exception of Six. What the fuck, Six?
She's vibing.
Sumimasen, I may have drunk a little too much. I will hold back.
Okay, all of you were trashed. Listen, I'm gonna stop for now so that I can take care of you guys.
Did I summon more bread?
Please, no.
The walls are already covered in it!
Oh.
Butcher just shakes his head and he's like, I need to go for a walk.
Rev is also going to step out. It's a little crowded with all the bread.
I imagine before the door, I don't know if the door opens in or out, but I imagine it's like shifting of bread.
Yep.
To make sure that nothing pours out of the room as soon as
Correct.
it's opened.
I would like one of you to roll sleight of hand with a disadvantage because you're doing this while drunk.
I'll do it. Oh, that's advantage. Roll.
With a 10, you manage to make sure that nothing falls out of the room, shockingly. There's a couple of close calls, but you manage to just kind of push it out of the way and manage to close the door behind you and Rev.
I'm going to make sure. I'll be back. Unless you want to do a perimeter check with me.
That's alright. See you after a bit.
Butcher's not looking to go far. He's just sort of like, everybody's wasted and he still feels some compulsion to do his job. And so he's just sort of trying to eye anybody who's in the tavern area who might be sort of clocked that we all went into a room together, or who may seem dismayed by noise coming from that room.
Perception with disadvantage, please.
Hey.
Even in your slightly drunken stupor, you still have those instincts of, oh god, I have to make sure that my charge is safe. You do notice that a few people definitely clocked that you ordered 3 rooms, then all crowded into a single room, and then clearly a lot of people were like, oh, those are the people who don't look like us doing that. That's kind of weird.
What's your problem?
You say to what looks to be a 5'6" human man, it's just, it's like 8. Are all of you fucking?
Why, you want in?
No.
Then get out of my face.
You immediately goes to the bar to order a drink just to get out of your face.
I'll just continue being intimidating to anybody who is being judgmental.
Please roll me intimidate.
Is it disadvantage?
Nope, not this time. Because you have advantage for other reasons.
Ooh.
No one wants to fuck with you, and you definitely notice while a couple of people clocked it, they went, that man is armed and slightly drunk. So anyway, we're gonna go grab drinks and just stay the fuck away from you.
Character starts humming to himself, and it eventually evolves into a rather sort of soulful, morose song in his native tongue. He doesn't realize everyone else is there still.
May I imagine that you're doing this as you're slightly on the floor?
Oh, he's totally just sat on the floor.
Perfect.
Just chilling.
As Karuto hums to himself, is there any drunken conversations people would like to have?
Should I go give this bread to Crow? Do you think Crow would like the bread?
Sweetie, I mean this in the nicest way. You're not allowed to leave this inn until the morning.
Is it because of the bread?
No.
Is it because of other things?
It's because you drank a lot.
Oh, okay. Alright. I thought it was other things.
Last time you drank this much, someone tried to kill us.
Yeah, that wasn't fun. Or was it? I can't remember. I don't really remember a lot of what happened then.
I'm starting to think that you don't... you're... How can you drink so little? You're so much bigger than me.
I don't know. I guess I never really drank all that much.
Karato, what are you doing?
Without breaking his song, even in the slightest, he starts filling up everyone else's cups again, if they're empty.
Does anyone drink them?
Six does not.
Well, the person you're also rolling for does.
I assumed that she would.
I think Celastra probably would as well. I don't think she knows her limits yet.
Alright. Navale, Permelia just drank again. Do you drink?
I'm not sure. What would I roll to see if deciding for that? I'm curious.
Whatever it is, it's with disadvantage for sure.
Okay.
Wisdom.
Probably wisdom, yes.
Alright, let's go.
You know that you shouldn't.
Yeah, she just slowly pushed the drink away and then just maybe grab some of that 45 pounds of water.
So much water.
Celastra, congratulations. You're not sure how to slither anymore, and movement has become difficult. In some ways, it's adorable how you kind of just lay there flopping on the ground. In other ways, it's very concerning.
I'm tired. Is this normal?
If you fall asleep on your side.
Why?
Because if you puke, you won't suffocate on your own vomit.
Gross.
How is Permelia doing?
Just fine.
Are you feeling any better, Permelia?
Yeah, nope. Everything's fine. Completely fine. So do they know about...
Yeah, everyone knows.
Great.
Well, what do I know?
I told Permelia that I trained under the Butcher.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Good. No secrets.
I wasn't sure how to tell you because I was afraid you would get upset.
No, I'm fine. It just means that obviously I'm friends with someone who's the mortal enemy of everything I've ever believed in. It's fine. I promise everything's fine. I'm just going to make sure that Navali doesn't fall over. And we should probably go to separate rooms for other reasons.
So it was because of that.
Yes?
She smiles like, I'm onto you, Perm.
Uh-huh.
Bro.
So is that a yes?
Is it?
We'll find out tonight.
Character looks between the two and then carefully tries to pour Perm another drink.
To drink it.
Yes!
Oh shit!
He can fail. Navale, for the first time after she drank literally twice as much as you have, she looks as drunk as you feel.
You can drink a lot.
Flora, it's all about drinking and revelry. So, revelry. And she's just going to grab your hand and try to get you out of the room that's filled with bread and water.
Do we knock over the bread and water?
Absolutely.
Can we roll to see how bad we do it?
Please roll me dexterity.
Alright. I'm guessing
Disadvantage.
Yeah. Yes!
May I ask what you're trying to do, Six?
That was for Permelia.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
She's fine.
She's fine.
So, several pounds of bread fall directly on top of Celestra, who's laying there. And then several pounds of bread fall directly outside of the room as she pulls you out, completely dodging all of this. This is all on you.
I've never been so happy to roll nat 1.
Naruto waits for them to leave the room and then just holds his hand up towards Six.
What's that?
It's the thing you do with the hands
High five.
to celebrate. Yes.
Smack. Hey, Karuto.
Please, both of you roll me dexterity. So you do eventually manage a high five. The first one slightly misses, and both of you slap water nearby that causes it to spill onto the ground. Also directly onto Celestra.
What?
You all start to realize that 30 gallons of water and 45 pounds of bread in a single small bedroom, maybe capable of sleeping 2 people, is way too much.
Hey, Karuto. Have you used your bottle question today?
He has to think really hard about this. No.
I have a question. Will you help me ask my question?
Are you sure you want to do that now?
Oh, I'm fine. She's completely sober, isn't she?
Slightly tipsy. You failed
Slightly
once.
tipsy. Oh, I failed once. I'll be fine. I want to know, but I need your help, Karuto. So
knowing is a dangerous thing, but for you, Six, yes, I will help.
Oh. Okay. This is what I want to know. I've got 2 questions, but I think this is the more interesting question. Where will we find my mother's soul?
This very interesting question. Yes.
So I thought about this one. I was smart, Karuto. I was gonna ask, where will we find my mother? But I watched the questions that Four asked. It took Four 3 days to get the answer that he wanted, because he asked bad questions. If I asked, where will we find my mother? I thought it would show me her body in the ground.
one moment. Let me. He starts like sort of trying to move through all the breads and the water to try and find something deeper than the cups they've been using. Is like eventually he probably finds like an unused bedpan, which is hopefully clean. But whatever.
You don't know if it's clean or not, but you're doing it anyway.
It's alcohol. Alcohol's good, right? And doesn't really probably have any trouble actually pouring it because it's a big old object. And then, as he pours, he asks, "Where would we find Six's mother's soul?"
This is a bit of a weird one, so I'd like you to roll me wisdom. You don't have to disadvantage this.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh.
Okay. The sake ripples for a moment, and for a very split second, you see what appears to be gigantic bones jutting out of the ground, and what you're pretty sure is sandstone all about it. Natural sandstone, not something carved by man. And it almost instantaneously zooms into something very small. It's almost like a glowing white pearl, but slightly off. It's almost diamond-like in many ways. It seems to flash in many different colors, but you can't quite tell what kind of gem it is, but it is a gem within all of these bones.
Do I know where this location is?
No.
I can't remember. Could other people actually see the vision? Or
yes.
is it,
when you ask it, it flickers into the sake itself. Everyone can look at it.
On the bowl. Cool. Do you maybe recognize the skeleton?
Hello, nature.
Carito.
I'll still allow a nature for the skeleton question. It's really big, like really big bones. Like this thing has to be gigantic when it was alive.
What are we gonna do, Carito? I was afraid that this would be what it was.
Well, Fiona, if we think about this is no bad thing.
What do you mean?
Well, this is the fate of Nivali, no? So, she is still in there.
Maybe.
And if she is in there, we know that we can go in too.
I don't know where that is.
But we will find it. We have many questions.
Sorry, Carito.
Fiona. 6. Let's go on. It is okay. I understand this is difficult. Yeah, please, have another drink.
Don't laugh at me.
Why, Fiona? 6. Why would I laugh? That would be rude. I am not rude.
She takes another drink.
Arito also takes another drink.
Oh, that's perfect.
Before saying, "To finding your mother." Kanpai.
Thanks, you're officially drunk.
Hell yeah. I think that, like, over the next few minutes, she calms down pretty easy with Carito's help.
Arito, being sort of fairly in his cups, decides that the best course to soothing her is, like, shuffling closer on the ground and just like petting her arm.
How long does the vision in the bedpan last?
Only like, to put this into D&D terms, 2 to 3 rounds, so
Gotcha.
flash of a second. 12 to 18 seconds.
She attempts to burn the bones of the creature and the location into her memory.
It's not easy to do that, unfortunately. Mostly because the actual like seeing the bones happened in a split second when it was originally giving you the image.
Gotcha.
You then immediately zoomed in on the actual gem.
Bones, sandstone, gem.
Yes.
Out of curiosity, did Butcher kind of did his walkabout of making sure nobody would bother them, but where did Rev go if he left Butcher's vision?
That was going to be my next question after that is done. Hey, Rev, what were you doing?
So, a couple of quick questions. Were we still in the pleasure district or no?
You were in the residential district.
We're in the residential district. Okay. What time was it approximately when we left? Because we'd only been drinking for about 15 minutes.
I mean, you actually probably drank for 30 to 45 minutes by the time you left.
Okay, fair.
6 and Karuto stayed there until for like another full hour. It's still like 8 to 9 p.m. Like, the sun is down, but it's not super late.
Okay. I don't want to be gone too long, but I'm just gonna, since Rev is feeling drunk, he's gonna try to use that, try to sway a little bit, look like he's a little tipsy, and kind of just wander through. I know that the Umbra district isn't safe, but the avenues that he knows aren't necessarily anybody's territory, but he's looking for signs of gang activity, anything like that, just out of curiosity.
Reminder, you don't have to look tipsy. You are tipsy.
That's okay, yeah. Am I drunk? I know I failed 2 times, but
you are drunk, yes.
Okay, fair enough. That'll work then.
If I can offer one thing, because Butcher wanted to like intimidate people, but then if Rev, I don't know the timeline of events, but if Rev sort of obviously left the establishment, then like after Butcher sort of intimidates people, he would want to sort of keep an eye on Rev if he had any reason to be concerned.
I will say, with your previous perception, you definitely saw Rev leave. You could follow him if you wanted to. And Rev, I don't think you're in the right mind to even be checking behind you for if your friends are following you.
Nope.
I would disguise self as some other drunkard that doesn't look like me.
Sure.
Probably human as well, and just kind of tail Rev just in case.
So Rev, I mean this in the nicest way. It sounds like you're looking for trouble.
No. I'm just trying to be a drunkard, just making his way wherever he's going and trying to look for signs of activity. Again, just marking places, faces, anything that he might recognize.
Roll me
he's been here a
wisdom with
while.
disadvantage. Again, because you are actually drunk.
Nice.
You are completely convinced that you will remember everything that you're looking at this night. I'm going to tell you preemptively, when you wake up the next morning, you won't remember what you were doing.
Fair.
That being said, do you do anything besides that?
Nope. He left for a different reason, and this is just something he thought to do while he was out, so he's going to go back afterwards and probably go to bed.
Okay. I assume that Butcher just follows him, notices he doesn't get into trouble, and does the same.
Yep. And then, not knowing how long that takes, probably just put an ear to people's rooms, or just get an idea of like, is everybody asleep by now?
It took about an extra hour because, like, Rev actually took quite a long walk. That being said, important question. Does everyone just kind of collapse and sleep?
Celastra definitely does.
I want to check on Celastra and make sure that she's okay before I go to sleep.
Roll medicine. You have never seen her be so limp, but at the same time, she's breathing.
I roll her on her side.
It is not difficult.
She is, after all, mostly a tube.
Honestly, the hardest part is getting her to stop rolling.
How did the recovery position if they don't have legs?
Everyone else go to sleep?
Yeah, but Butcher's inclined to think that he should take a watch, but he thinks he was effective in dissuading people earlier. So he'll, whichever room is one of the rooms that's not Navali Permelia, he'll just crawl into and.
Rev, Butcher probably sleeps with you.
Okay.
Okay.
Meanwhile, Kaito has descended into the slightly morose drinking phase, where he's just drinking directly from the bottle.
It never ends. It's a really bad idea. I'd like you to roll
Yeah.
me another Constitution saving throw. You know, it reminds you of home.
Exactly. And that's both bittersweet.
Okay. I would like everyone except Butcher and Rev to roll me an intelligence saving throw with disadvantage. Well, no. Intelligence saving throw for everybody with disadvantage on Navali alone.
Oh.
Saving throw.
Wait, so everybody to Rev is throwing one?
No, Rev and Butcher
Okay.
don't roll.
So, intelligence save.
Yes. Do it for Permelia as well.
Am I rolling one?
Yes, you are.
Okay.
I
I'm
forget if
seeing-
she's at disadvantage. I apologize. If she's not, it's a 12.
Well, she's sleeping with Navali, so it's a 14.
Wow, that's convenient. Have a paladin significant other, they'll make it assassinating you harder.
Aura is not turned off, so.
Yep.
Karuto, you're the only one who doesn't get this dream, which is nice and kind of funny. Everybody else, as you dream into a very drunken stupor, you feel as if you wake up, but it's not your own body. You feel warmth all over your body, an undeniable heat that seems to burn through you. This is especially strange for Six and Celastra, as for the first time you feel very strange, because that's not scales or fur, that is skin. And as you look around, you don't really feel like you're in control of your own body, but you notice hands that have nails extremely sharp. And they're in some kind of cave, weapons strewn about. And then you move towards what appears to be some kind of hole in the cave, and you look down and see what appears to be red liquid flowing downward, burning extreme hot. Maybe it's more of an orange. And you put what appears to be some kind of metal nearby and watch it slowly start to simmer and burn. And Celastra, your mind immediately goes, this place must be so hot that most people couldn't even last in here, because it's starting to burn the metal and melt it down. They take something off to the side and start to shape the metal, and you can't remember anything beyond that as you wake up for real. Six, Navali, and Celestra were the ones who actually had that happen.
Kaito?
Additionally, I would like everyone to roll me a Constitution saving throw for hangovers.
Oh boy.
Con saving throw.
Oof.
I did it at disadvantage on accident.
Okay, we'll take the 14 because I assume that the +2 is still added from your aura.
Yeah.
Celestra and Ravi are the only ones who wake up with a pounding headache.
Oh my
Celestra,
God.
it's probably the worst because then you hear Six wake up breathing heavily.
Ow. What's happening?
She's looking at her arms and her nails.
Tabaxi, fur, claw.
I had this really weird dream again. It was so hot.
Were you in a cave?
Yeah, and I had skin.
I think I had the same dream.
There's the metal.
Yeah.
Was the moon there?
Mm-mm. Or was it, Skern?
No.
Mm-mm.
You weren't in cave. You
was in
couldn't see
cave.
the sky.
Why does my head hurt so much?
You're hungover.
Good news, it has been 24 hours. You're still surrounded by food and water.
We'll take some,
Kaito sits
some
up.
of that water.
Kaito sits up and starts like just munching on bread and sipping water.
I'm gonna go wake up the others.
Bring them some water, and bread. We have too much.
Unless you tell me no, you all reconvene.
Well, what a completely uneventful evening.
Celestra and I had this really weird dream. It was really hot.
Oh, come on.
Why would we have the same dream?
The basement people could be fucking with us, Rev.
Fucking wait, how? Also quieter, please.
The basement people could be fucking with us, Rev. They made you hit us. You said they were coming for us. Well, Celestra and I had a weird dream, and it was the same thing.
Could you describe this dream?
You guys just had too much to drink. Come on.
Alright, so you don't have to roll. You know this is one of the effects of the bottle.
I described the major beats of the scenes Skern described.
And you said Navali had the dream, right?
Oh, yeah.
It seems more than just one of us had this dream then. That's weird.
Oh no, I am sorry. It was the bottle.
Huh?
If you become so drunk as to, well, fall asleep because of it, it can cause you to see through the eyes of another. There is no danger, do not worry.
Whose eyes did we see through?
Well, I could perhaps ask the bottle, but I'm not sure if it would be worth it if I only get one question a day.
Have you seen through others' eyes from this?
I have only had the bottle for a few days. I have not had the chance.
Well, that's all great. What are we doing today?
Perhaps heading back to the vineyard.
Was that today, or did we have one more day?
You were told the guards would tell you, but you were given kind of a heads up that probably will be fine today. With the exception of Permelia.
Oh, and we probably aren't leaving.
I mean, one of you isn't, the rest of you can.
Out of here.
We can't leave Nuvali behind, and we can't split the party.
Yes, you can.
No, it's illegal.
Yes, 6.
I have to be right back for a second. So 6 goes and gets bread and water for people for breakfast.
Totally fine. So what does the party want to do for the morning?
Well, I suppose we have to make ourselves known to whatever guards that will let us leave. I mean, if we're anticipating splitting up, I'd wonder where you want me to be.
Well, Rev, you're the guild leader. Where do you think Butcher should go if you're going to split up?
I can't speak for everyone else's intentions. As far as I know, we are going to be here for a few days besides, at least in the area. So whenever we plan on, or whenever we are permitted to leave, I was going to go out to the vineyard and bring back our 2 guests from there and bring them here to discuss a few more things. As far as what to do today, I don't know. Does anyone have anything pressing that they wanted to do?
I mean, were you looking for a job? Like, what is the next mission?
As he says this, I want to just reiterate that for the first time in a while, you don't technically have one.
I think we're taking a few days to regroup and sort of take care of a few things before we set off on a job. So, I don't know if you wanted to pick up a minor task or something. I suppose that would be fine.
I mean, I'm supposed to he kind of like sort of rubs the. I would actually say Butcher is clearly not wearing the badge yet. He kind of just like pulls it out of his pocket and is sort of like twirling it in his fingers and sort of says, like, I'm still. I think I've got another 2 weeks until this my current responsibilities are over. So I prefer to just, if anybody's going to do anything stupid, I'll be going with you.
Does anyone intend on doing something stupid in the next few days?
I do not believe that we ever intend to do such things.
Yeah, but let's be honest. In the last 2 months, you've fought a month and a half. You guys have fought demons. You've fought whatever that sort of thing was that killed 6 in the cave. You fought. We had to deal with that Sperenzo guy and his crazy place. That is a very active lifestyle for 2 months. I just want to make that clear. most people don't get in fights like that once in their lifetime, let alone, on a daily basis. So, if there's any risk, maybe we'll say, of difficulties, then I would prefer to be there.
I foresee no such risk unless there's something. I mean, we travel the road to the vineyard and back many times. I don't think there'd be any problems there, but I would think if there was anything, it would be probably outside of town. Then again, I don't know because of, as Six mentioned, our basement guests. I have no idea what their intentions are, so maybe.
Would their intentions be targeted towards anybody in particular?
I cannot say at this point. Maybe me, but I, again, am not sure. I am told there are differing opinions on the subject of what that is, so I have no idea. I guess is what I'm saying.
Butcher will look towards Navali and Permelia and say, well, do you guys want company while you hang out in Dulveron for weeks? Or should I leave you alone?
Amelia's gonna look at Navali for an answer there.
There are a few things I would prefer to do on my own, but I don't see a problem in having some company on occasions, but like I said, there are a few tasks I would like to do on my own.
Well, I'll stay in Dulveron then.
If you are going to go out to the city, you should take Mira with you. She can help you get there faster.
DM would also like to remind you, you have literally 2 giant foxes in a stable.
Or you may take the foxes. Either one. Mira could also use some time to run around. That said, before anybody thinks of heading out, Reverence, I did want to talk to you about something.
Certainly here or one-on-one.
Privately for now.
Sure. We'll be right back.
I'll go get breakfast.
We
go
have so
into
much
one of the
bread.
rooms.
So much bread.
I'm going to get breakfast that has flavor.
Wait, are you okay?
I beg your pardon?
You look a little,
Hungover. Yeah. Yeah, alcohol hit me a little harder than I thought.
Would you like help with that?
With my hangover?
Yes.
You can do that?
I think I can. I'm pretty sure it works in the past.
Okay, yes, great.
Navali will put a hand on Rev's shoulder and give 5 lay on hands.
You remove the poison, therefore removing the hangover. You succeed.
Better?
That's really something. Thank you, Navali.
I will also have to make sure to offer that to Celestra in case she would like that as well. No problem.
Certainly. Can I get you anything in return? That helps a lot. This was going to be a very hard day.
No, it's all right. It's nothing. Really, the only thing I wanted to talk to you about was potentially talking to Stray about, the Scarlet thing.
Oh, and just to reiterate, did you mention everything about Scarlet to Rev and the group that you learned about Scarlet?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I would be very interested in that. In fact, why don't... Would you like to head over to the Tandem Imperium before I head out?
I think that would be best.
Why don't we make our way there? And I would like to go see Stray. I'm interested in what she would have to say. Would you mind also coming with me to see Hazel?
Yes, I can do that. If we're going to head out right now, though, let me go help Celestra, though.
Oh, yes, we don't have to leave right this second, but yes.
Navali's gonna just go walk in and offer to also get rid of Celestra's hangover.
Yes, thank you.
Alright, another 5 ion hands.
Would like a note at Celestra, you, as this happens to you, you realize that if you prepare Lesser Restoration in the future, you could do this to yourself.
Excellent.
But that way, you don't have to waste some magic. I can just sort of do that.
Yeah, waste your laying hands instead.
And yeah, if like Nivali is ready to whenever to go talk to Stray and Hazel.
I'll ask, does anyone else plan to do anything besides talk to those two for the morning?
Yes. Completely independently, not having been a part of this conversation, I also want to go to the Tandem Imperium to see what Vari is up to.
I think it would just be funny if you've already left and they're just going to see you there.
I actually think that would be really funny.
Karata wouldn't mind catching up with Tushuki.
Sure. In this case, I am going to just very briefly also do one other thing as you're all getting ready to leave for the morning, with the exception of Six, who basically ate some bread and just left. Sound reasonable to you, Six?
100%.
Agar does actually come into the inn, clearly looking for your group, approaches the nearest person he sees who is eating breakfast. Sure, Butcher. You're not a demi. You've been traveling with Shield of the Outcast, correct?
Yeah.
Let them know that they are free to leave the city currently, with the exception of the Iridian. Additionally, we've had reports that someone might be impersonating them.
Great.
Just let them know. If there turns out to be problems, you can let us know in the future. Have a good day, sir.
What? Any details beyond somebody that you're allowed to divulge?
We've just been getting complaints about the guild, which is unnatural, about how they've been harassing numerous owners recently. Apparently happened last night.
I wouldn't worry about it.
Well, they've been on good behavior currently, so we're not going to unless it continues to happen.
Well. And who do you work for again?
The town guard. Are you asking for my captain's name, or?
Yeah. Why not?
Captain Leo Monroe.
It's your manager. Sorry.
Well, you can tell the Captain Leo Monroe that there's nothing to worry about.
Right. I'll tell him that I did a good job and that you're all free to go. Exception of the Iridian. Remember that. And he just backs off.
Butcher just like shakes his head and is like fucking militia. But not knowing when this happened in the series of events, etc., he'll join.
And Rev would still be here.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately he'll let everybody know / follow them to the Tandem Imperium. He'll leave out the part about his own impersonations. He doesn't need to worry people with that.
I mean, I'll ask, does Navali and Rev let Butcher come with?
Oh, I should be clear. He planned to come to the Tandem. It sounded like several people were going to the Tandem Imperium. He was going to go there and then sit outside.
Fair. Navalia and Rev were the ones leaving, and Six already left without even saying where she's going. Six, you're so easy to keep charge of, aren't you?
Huh?
Exactly.
I would say even if I have to kind of go by myself because I didn't really seek anybody's permission, the goal would be there'd be an assumption that that's where we would all be rendezvousing anyway.
Fair enough.
So whether I'm traveling with somebody or not, that's sort of his objective.
Well, as I now know where almost everyone in the party is doing, I'm just going to ask, Celestra, are you doing anything special?
I think she would likely just tag along with Navali and Rev when she sees them making plans to head out.
Navali, Rev, do any of you have any objections?
Nope.
Nope.
There you go. Funny enough, we're just going to start with the group of 4 as you head to the Tandem Imperium. Anything in particular you do as you notice that while the sign doesn't say open, there is definitely a lot more people moving around inside even as you approach.
Go do your business. Keep your secrets. I'll stand up guard here.
Yeah, I mean, Navali will just walk inside.
Yeah.
Okay, you knock. You notice almost immediately as the door opens, the black-haired, yellow-eyed woman just kind of eyes both of you, gives a smile. Sorry for kicking you out earlier, but takes one look over to the back and sees Butcher still there. So anyway, if he's staying outside, you're all welcome inside. Is there someone you're looking for? Do I need to go summon Crow?
We were actually looking for Varia first.
She's
believe.
with 6 in her room.
Oh, not Varia. I'm sorry. Navali, who was it again?
Stray.
Stray. I'm so sorry.
Stray doesn't spend the night here. I don't know where she is.
Do you know when she'll be around?
Well, she's somewhere in the city. I'm sure Crow knows. She's normally the contact.
Okay. I guess we'll go see Crow first.
Sure. Just so you're aware, we might be stretching ourselves a bit. Please don't be alarmed.
Right. I think we'll be fine.
They let you in, and as you enter, you do notice that, at the very least, Linnell and Qualm are just around in the main room, not hiding the fact that they are devils. They seem to be in much better spirits with their horns and tails out and little wings. That being said, you find Crow fairly easily, who's just off to the side. Sorry for the hastened removal. I warned you it might happen. Do you need room still, or?
Actually, we were looking for Stray, if you might know where she went or where she is.
Can send her a message, but you might not be able to contact her for some time. She tends to be doing things and only be able to talk when she's available. Can I ask why? Is something wrong with the agreement?
No, nothing like that. We had some curiosities involving, did she tell you that she would train me at one point? I don't know if she would have mentioned that.
Why would Stray train you? That doesn't sound like her.
Wasn't it Stray?
It was Linnell.
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. Never mind.
Stray does know Iridia, though.
Yeah.
Okay, we had some questions about Iridia. Say that.
Oh, that makes sense. The blonde one not able to answer everything?
No, it's just there are some questions we'd like to ask.
Sure, I'll send her a message and I'll probably get something back either today or tomorrow and be able to tell you where to meet her.
All right, that sounds good. By the way, did you need any bread? We have so much of it.
Why do you have bread?
Long story short, I have like at least probably 30 pounds left, but it will disappear in like maybe 5 hours. I'm just wanting to know if somebody needs it. It doesn't taste that very good.
Did you learn create food and water?
Yes.
I appreciate that. I really do. You know most of us don't need food, right? I mean, I do. And I'll eat it, I guess. But that's a lot for me.
Still thought I might offer it. We have a lot left over.
I don't know that spell, sure.
Alright, I will see about bringing some over later.
Anything else I can do?
Rev will look at Navali to see if she had anything else that she wanted to ask Ro.
Nope.
Do you know if Azel is around?
She's in the basement. She's also being all succubus. They're making appointments for a lot of things, but she apparently just wanted to run some experiments. Why?
Well, I had some questions about her magical talents, of all things. And I
Warn you, she doesn't like doing things for free. She's not like kind of gestures towards the other three in the main hall. They'll happily talk to you for things. Azel likes trades.
Do you happen to know any particular way I could get on her good side?
Do you have something interesting?
I don't know. She was sort of interested in my Eidolon. I don't know if that.
She was more interested in hers and kind of gestures towards Navali.
Fair enough. Do I have? Maybe we should come back later.
It might also be we could see in advance if she might want anything and we can get it for her later. If we go talk to her right now. But it's up to you, Rev.
I suppose it couldn't hurt. Yeah, let's go have a talk.
Sure. I can help guide you. The basement can be a maze, and I promise you, as you probably know, she won't take your soul even if you agree to some deals. She's literally not allowed to.
Good to know.
As you are being led to the basement, we're going to quickly cut over to how Six is doing. Six, you arrived early. You were just kind of let in. I assume you asked for Varya and are just talking to Varya right now.
Yeah.
Please, tell me what your conversation entails.
Checking up on gunpowder, also offering to show her my gun.
As you check up on gunpowder, she is looking at the barrels that you brought in and clearly understands what this is. Oh, this is going to take me forever to turn into... It's fine. Hi. Yes, gun. I've seen them. I've never actually used one. Could you... How much do you need to actually fire?
I'm assuming I know the amount in character.
Sure.
I describe the amount that it takes or what is necessary to fire the weapon, and how much is generally carried at once to avoid an explosion.
It's a lot more than I would expect. I mean, I really do appreciate this, though this is going to be a lot of effort to turn into actual usable gunpowder. I have the supplies for it. Do you know how to make it?
Uh-huh.
Do you
want
know how
help?
to make it safely?
Yeah. It's my out-of-character understanding because of those notes, I do.
You still have to make a roll, but yes.
I'm out of practice. I know how to do it in theory. I'll need some help.
Okay, so I still have to do bartending duties today. If you're willing to just spend a few days helping me turn this into barrels of black powder instead of this white saltpeter, sure.
Yeah, that's fine with me. Well, let me check with my guildmates and let them know what I'm up to. But yeah.
So I have to ask, do you just want enough for the gun? That's it? Doesn't seem that useful.
What do you mean?
Oh, reason I use it is for explosives. Do you not use explosives?
Do they use explosives in New Victoria? I have to
You've
imagine. They do.
absolutely seen explosives, yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, so first of all, where did you learn about gunpowder? I haven't seen it outside of New Victoria.
Oh, Crow said we can trust you, so sure. When I was younger, I was on the border of New Victoria, and Crow said I can trust you. We did less than legal activities. I raided a lot of caravans.
She shrugs. I don't care about the government of New Victoria. I don't care what you did to them or what you stole.
Well, perfect. So New Victorian, as long as you can distract the golem, it's pretty easy to raid their stuff for way more valuable things than anything else. And once I figured out what that was, and she gestures towards the barrels and how to make it work, it became even easier. So it's kind of been my thing that I do. It kind of all backfired when we stole one very important thing later. But yeah.
She leans in. She's curious about the very important thing.
You saw it. It's in the male cat now.
The Eidolon.
Yeah, I was in a caravan when didn't they tell you why I'm here?
Did they?
Very briefly, they talked about how she used to have the Death Eidolon.
Let me roll wisdom. Oh, it was yours. They had to subdue you.
Yes, it was in a New Victorian caravan.
Weird. Hey, if you've gone to raid New Victoria, how do you get there? Do you go through the Rasahari or do you take a boat?
The boat is not safe anymore. There's literally sea monsters that can devour even galleons right now. There's a couple of interesting pathways if you're willing to go off the beaten path and avoid Rasahari completely.
Do you know where the City of Winds is in the Rasahari?
Sure, it's just southwest of here. Just follow the ocean until you see the city. It has a river connecting to it.
One of my guildmates is interested in going to New Victoria, and we need to get to the City of Winds. If you're familiar with the area, could you, sketch us a route or something?
It's been literally years that's probably out of date, but I can give you an out-of-date map.
Sure. Sorry, I'm off topic. Explosives. I've never used them before.
Oh, I can teach you the basics if you want. Obviously, you know how to get this, and I'd rather you don't experiment with it and blow your hand off.
Okay, I'll make you a trade. I'll help you make the gunpowder, and if you teach me about explosives and let me have some, I'll let you play with my gun and show you how it works.
I would like one other thing.
Okay?
Can I disassemble your gun?
She stiffens a little. She knows how to put it back together, right? Six does.
You've repaired it before, but actually taking it completely apart and back together, you've never actually done.
I've never actually taken it all the way apart before.
It's just the easiest way to know if I can reproduce it, if I actually, completely take it apart and see how each individual part works.
Yes, but I observe.
I'm fine with that.
She nods.
You can make the gunpowder first. It can be the last part of our transaction.
It's a deal.
She will extend her hand to shake on it.
Sure, she shakes.
Okay, and if you backstab me, I have a lot of ways to kill you.
Okay, well, I wasn't planning on it, but good to know.
That's what you're going to be doing for a while.
Sure, I'll also tell guild people when I see them, I'm staying in Dulveran. I'm going to help Varya. Bye.
You poke your head out to do this, and you see them passing by in the basement. Hey, this is what I'm doing. Bye. Hey, Karuto.
Oh,
So Tushiyuki was actually staying in the same inn as you, very intentionally.
mm-hmm.
So finding him isn't hard. Tell me about your conversation.
So Karito takes his time being polite and, well-mannered and makes them both tea and sits down and says, so, please, once more, tell me again of the events in the temple.
It isn't complicated, unfortunately. I wish it was. I was told I was supposed to be guarding an important artifact, and when I went to see what it was, curiosity got the better of me. And when I confronted them about my curiosities, I was supposed to be executed, and I made my decision to instead execute the ones who likely would bring nothing but disaster, as they wish to cover their eyes and plug their ears.
Karito nods. And when you told them, did they seem surprised?
No, that's why I knew something was very wrong.
I see. So you immediately suspected that they were the ones who might bring around this calamity.
I have reason to believe that if they are not the ones who would bring the end of the calamity, or bring the start of the calamity, that they're aware of it and choose to do nothing. Which, that is no better, as I'm sure you're aware.
Karito knows an agreement. And while you were traveling, 2 years, it is a very long time. What did you ask of the bottle? Other than, obviously, finding these items.
Well, finding about those items took many, many, many questions. I've asked many ways of phrases such as, what can stop it? What do I need to stop that? What must be done? Where do these objects need to be? Unfortunately, As you're aware, it's just a simple, quick vision, and it has been many times where I just have to pray and guess. Additionally, unfortunately, I had to ask many questions of where can I stay? Where can I get food? Who can teach me this language?
Carter gives a rueful smile. Yes, that last one was interesting.
They speak with such simplicity in many ways. Their language lacks emotion to it.
First, but there is a surprising depth. As I'm sure you have guessed by now, I bear you no ill will at this point.
Should you bear me ill will, I believe I would simply be dead.
He nods, looking still a little pained at that. With that in mind, I offer you the opportunity to work with me, to fulfill our duty, and to protect the veil.
Certainly have no objections, but I need to request what do you require of me? As I'm sure you've noticed, fighting is not particularly my strong suit.
Well, of course, I do not have your training profiles here, but what would you say you excelled at?
Arcane investigation. Knowing the spiritual and the magical weave of the world has a lot of applications. I'm excellent at figuring out why spells were cast and how they were cast and what artifacts can do, as for one example is how I knew how the bottle worked before I even used it.
Such skills could be incredibly useful, especially to our group. With the permission of our leader, perhaps I might suggest that you stay with us.
I certainly cannot deny the kindness of a place over my head. It sounds far better than my previous arrangement.
Carter sort of gives a slightly sort of awkward smile at that. Perhaps you should wait until you see our assigned location. It is not quite glamorous just yet, but humble, perhaps.
I believe both of us know that we've been trained to sleep anywhere. That does not bother me.
He nods and smiles. Then I believe we have come to an agreement.
I suppose I will speak with your leader in the future. Have I met him?
I suppose you could say that. He was the one with the sword or whip. He seems to have been gaining great skill with it lately. The weapon made of blood.
Ah, the one who clearly has given his soul to something greater.
Character nearly spits out his tea at that. Excuse me?
My apologies. As I said, my specialty comes from reading the weave and arcane manners. His power is not his own. He borrows it from elsewhere.
I did not know this. Again, you're already proving extremely useful. I thank you.
If you did not know this, then he probably did not want you to know this, meaning I should hold my tongue. My apologies.
No offense is caused. And with that, we can probably move on.
Very well. So, Azel.
So,
You go through the basement. You pass through many rooms, and you go back to a familiar room that you remember laying down in, 2 months ago? 3 months ago? It was kind of a blur back then. Crow waits outside as you enter, and you see the very uncaring woman just barely even acknowledge that the door has opened and seems to be looking over what is definitely vials of blood and mixing in something that seems to be a murky white or maybe even a murky light blue. It's hard to tell from a distance into it and watching the reaction. She too is currently has little horns that are jutting out of her light brown hair and long red wings that are almost folded to the side to stay out of the way of all the equipment. She definitely does not seem to care that you're there.
I guess Rev will make himself known. Azel, I apologize for interrupting. Could I have a moment of your time?
Why?
I was curious. You possess knowledge of a certain arcane, specifically, and I was wondering if, well, he'll kind of look back at Crow. If I could offer you a trade of some kind?
Her eye kind of looks over to you, her face completely unflinching. What are you offering? Are you offering her? Kind of looks towards Navali. Or her?
No.
Looks towards the Lustra.
And no. Is there anything I could offer you in terms of your research, curiosities, anything like that?
A moment, and she starts to walk up to you. And do you let her touch you as her hand reaches out to your face?
Sure.
I mean, intelligence saving throw. Oh, I'm sorry, it's wisdom, actually. Is that better? Keeping the roll.
The wisdom is +5. So
Still fails, unfortunately.
Even with my +2?
Even with your +2. Only barely fails, but still fails. You can almost feel something in your mind for a split second. What's inside of you?
Is that the trade?
No. The start of the bargain. What's inside of you?
I suppose that would be. My Eidolon's domain?
How?
That I don't know. I could potentially find out.
I want to see it.
I think I can arrange that.
What do you want for that?
For that, information and assistance to use that information, specifically involving magical means of transportation. I think you are familiar. I think something of this was mentioned at one point.
I know the teleportation spell. It's extremely risky and highly dangerous if you are not ready for it. I generally do it alone because I can survive it. I don't know if you could.
What all does that in? Okay, no. All right, that's good to know. Thank you. Are there other means of traversing long distances in such a way?
Teleportation circles. Dolran only has one, and it's heavily guarded.
is it?
Blue cloaks.
Interesting. Okay, and is that method more reliable than the first one? Less dangerous, let's say.
Normally, yes, blue cloaks would kill you if you used it.
Sure. So what does it take to do this?
Chalk infused with a great deal of magic essence.
Do you have some?
Yes. Why?
Part of the bargain. May I purchase it from you?
Sure. 75 gold per piece of chalk.
Okay. He'll buy 2 pieces from her.
Do you need to know where a circle is?
Yes, please. In fact, any information about these circles that you could give me, I'd be interested in.
There is one approximately 2 weeks to our northeast. It's a small town that 3 different nations argue over, so no one knows who owns it, so no one can guard its circle. It's in an abandoned mansion that is thought to be haunted. It's not.
This circle, do you know how to access it? You say it's a circle, is there like a pattern or something associated with it?
It's a circle.
Fair enough, thank you.
If you need direct directions, Linnell was there for some time.
Let's see. This has been very helpful. Thank you very much.
When do I get to see it?
How about tonight?
Very well. She gives a nod to Navali and Celastra and just goes back to completely ignoring all of you. Do you do anything else?
Is Linnell around?
Oh yeah, she's in the main room. She is enjoying the alcohol.
How about we go talk to her about that neat little place?
Sounds good.
You go back upstairs. Crow leads you back up. Linnell seems to just be trying all the alcohol that you know you recently purchased, and some of which was suggested by Crow that Linnell is now drinking. Just finding it interesting. You're not sure if they can get drunk. The smaller woman, who still appears to be enjoying dressing up into what is definitely turning actual leather into weirdly elaborate dresses, just kind of waves to you. Guess what?
What?
I did it. Finally cast it successfully.
Oh, you did it.
Hmm?
How was it? How did you feel?
Oh, it hurt so much, but it was worth it.
I can only agree. We had a curiosity, if you don't mind indulging us.
Sure. I forget their names. I remember yours. I helped teach you. I remember I'm not allowed to know where her sex organs are, gesturing towards Celastra. What was your names again?
Navali.
Hi, I'm Celastra, the snake with the sex organs.
I still don't know where they are. So, what do you want?
The long and short of it is, we had the curiosity. We were talking to Azel about arcane things, long distance movement, things of that nature, and she said that there was a circle in a place with it's an abandoned mansion that is not haunted to the northeast 2 weeks. Could you tell us about this place?
Why?
I was curious about it, I suppose.
Sure. Before I joined up here, that's where I stayed for a lot of nights. I didn't really have anywhere else to go when I wasn't training, and it was highly suggested because no one was going to question me. And sometimes I do this trick. She doesn't even move any part of her muscle, just her face becomes considerably more pale, and everyone just thinks I'm dead. So no, everyone left me alone.
I see. Okay, so you live there for a time. So and that place is relatively no one bothers with its is it fortified in any way?
No.
But it is abandoned. There's no one that bothers going there.
Oh, the villagers nearby all think that burning it down would get them all killed, so they just leave it alone.
Interesting.
Why? Are you going to go invade my own home?
Invade is the wrong word, but if we I don't know. I think that it might be useful to get to know the surroundings at some point. If you don't mind, of course.
I mean, it's not my home anymore. It's fine.
Is there anything we should know about it or the surrounding village or
The villagers like to think that they're probably belong to Iridia and they all worship the Five, so they're all meanie butts, so just keep that in mind.
understood? Okay. Thank you very kindly.
Wait, you said it hurts, so you also have been using it?
Oh, it'll be a waste not to, yes? As you said, it's worth it.
Did you get to do that thing where you hit them so fast they didn't know what happened and it just like hurt your muscle and it's like, ooh, and they get cut in half?
It's one of my favorite things to do.
Yeah, I didn't get to actually cut him in half though. This wasn't supposed to kill. It was very frustrating.
Keep trying, you'll get there.
No, I wasn't. I could. I just wasn't
Oh,
allowed
I see. You
to.
didn't have the opportunity. I see. Well, I hope the opportunity comes.
Me too.
Right.
Crow said you're also hanging out with that blonde woman. Is she available?
No, she's not.
Could you roll me persuasion? Or intimidation?
Ooh. Persuasion or imitation? What? Why not? I'm gonna roll intimidation. Well,
Does that mean she went back to Iridia? Oh, that's sad.
Navali does not answer that.
Anything else you'd like to ask her as she, upon that, feels very awkward as if she said something wrong and literally doesn't know what?
But Navali doesn't have anything.
Or have any additional questions?
I think that actually wraps up my business here. Salastro and Navale, did you have anything else you'd like to do? Anyone you'd like to talk to?
No. Besides, I probably should get to taking that bread to Curl before it goes bad.
Appreciate it!
Why don't I help you?
I'd appreciate it.
Butcher, before I do some fast forwarding, is there anything else you particularly do while waiting?
No. Just he's not. He already tried to go invisible earlier in the last session and peek at what's going on. So he just assumes he's not welcome in there and will be casually keeping an eye out. He kind of assumes that everybody feels safe here, so he isn't as on edge as normally he would be. So he's really just kind of sitting outside. I don't know. I don't know if Mira is still here or the foxes, but he's pretty much just like sitting on the stoop of one of the doors, or will eventually like stretch his legs and probably just do like a perimeter walk, but not really searching for anything.
Okay. Now, I am going to call for a break in a moment, and part of that is because I want to go to the bathroom. The other part of that is I'd like everyone to kind of think what you'd like to do for the week, and we'll kind of fast forward through an entire week, because I know now that someone wanted to go to the vineyard, it's just a lot easier to go, and you brought the people back rather than going day by day.
Makes
So,
sense.
quick break time.
Sounds good.
BRB.
We're back.
Okay, so let's do the most obvious thing. Rev, you're going to go collect the people who are in the guild house?
Yes.
Who's coming with you? Because that has to be a scene.
Anyone like to come with me?
This is right away, right? Not like a week later, but
This is literally probably that day Rev's probably going to go do it.
I thought Rev was promised to show Azel the thing that night first.
It's true.
Oh yeah.
Rev disappears not doing it. He gets tracked down by
I
hand.
could imagine Rev doing that and getting someone pissed off at him.
Oh, maybe why don't I go take care of that and then go pick up people?
Okay. I mean, you have a move that literally could just put her in there, so that's fine. I'm not going to have a scene for that other than you can tell she's interested and you can tell Sophia feels very uncomfortable.
I would have thought that Rev, if this is allowed, would have found a place to go do Pandora trigger, talk to her very briefly, let her know what's going on, see Sophia's thoughts about it.
Uncomfortable, but knowing that you already made the deal can't stop you. You'd rather follow the deal than not.
Okay, fair. Then yep, we just do that real quick then.
So who all is going to go collect the people in the guild house?
Butcher will probably stay in Dolveron, expecting for, you can correct me if I'm wrong, expecting for Navali and, of course, Permelia to stay in town. Just because Dolveron seems like a more dangerous place than the road to the winery.
Make sense?
Navali would just, again, ask Red if he wouldn't mind taking Mira out, because it's been a while since Mira's been able to walk around, but I'm pretty sure, or Navali's pretty sure that she would appreciate it.
Of course.
How about everybody else?
Who died made UDM. Nah, I'm just kidding.
I mean, here, how about everyone else?
There you go. No.
Suck at Karuto.
Wow. I think since 6 is indisposed, Karito was going to spend a lot of time with Toshuki, brainstorming better questions to answer, because two heads are better than one.
Just roll my intelligence.
Hell yeah. Straight up intelligence?
Correct.
Bonk.
You come up with a couple of ideas, but overall, you mostly learn that those objects are very important and they're somewhere on the material plane, which it does not help.
Nope. Frustrating. Oh, I'm assuming as well that we're allowed back to the tandem. And
Yes.
how do they feel about two?
After the first day, they're going back into hiding without too much objection, and thus you're allowed to spend the night there again, as Crow will just get 2 rooms available. That being said, there is always that interesting thing of you're used to the fact this is a brothel, and therefore there's lots of noises outside. Think about if everyone else would be. Additionally, for Navali's sake, Permelia decides maybe I'll just find an inn elsewhere. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, Navali will tag along with her.
Also, I'm assuming that Rev going back to the vineyard and then returning is only like, what, 2, 3, 4 days and all that?
Yes, it's mostly just saying who goes with him.
Yeah. I was going to say that, like, when he returns, Karito is going to ask about, like, accepting two into the guild in a more formal way, like a helper.
So this is where all your money goes.
Yeah, paying all those guild fees.
Picking up more people for the guild.
So it sounds like, Rev, you're going alone.
I think Celastra might actually go with Rev and just kind of tinker around in her workshop while she's there.
Sure.
Make some tools for keeping at the vineyard and easing around the house and stuff.
So you easily get Celostra to come with. I ask, how many foxes do you bring knowing that you're bringing people back?
I don't see any reason not to bring both of them and the Aunt Mira.
Roll animal handling.
Oh no. Okay.
It doesn't slow you down, though every now and then you get a little bit worried because one of them who doesn't have a rider is going to just kind of turn its head and get distracted by something in the tall grass and kind of jump towards it. And it's clearly sometimes just wants to play. And you have to literally go, everyone stop. We're making sure we don't lose them. But you don't lose them. And eventually do manage to make it to the guild house after a full day. You see, the first thing that you see is it's not on fire. There's no damage. No one is bleeding on the ground. But no one's outside either.
Hitch up our foxes and go inside then, I suppose.
Upon going inside, you do see the very large, almost sandish, blondish white, furred, large lion cat sitting on the chair, just eating some of your rations that have been here, while a black cat on the opposite chair is looking at him with complete admiration, asking him to tell her more stories. He is not actually talking. She is all the time, but apparently she's getting something out of pestering him.
VD, Sand.
VD immediately looks to you. Sand gives the slightest turn of a head. So you brought someone here, and I know you told me that he was coming, but he's so big. Why is he so big?
I'm sure I don't know. Well, since we're here, I guess I wanted to talk to both of you.
He doesn't talk much from what I've noticed. So me first? Did I do something wrong?
No, no, you didn't do anything wrong, but I'm curious, I guess. You've been with us for quite some time, and you did help us out before, and we appreciate that. What do you want, or what do you want to do?
I huh. That's heavy. I don't know.
Okay, that's a fair answer. And you're right, I did sort of spring that on you. I apologize. Uh, but it occurs to me that you are very, very capable. Um, we would your help could be, I mean, your assistance would be appreciated if you wanted to perhaps work with us. I don't know if you ever considered that.
You've offered. I helped with Frigg, the blonde woman, and that's good, right?
No, you did, and again, we appreciate that. We very much appreciate your assistance.
This is awkward. Are you asking if I want to go traveling a bit heavily dangerous places again?
Or not even that. As I said, you're very capable. If you wanted to work with us out of Dolvaran, make some money that way, that's possible.
I mean, so obviously, I know how to use a sword and how to sing really good, and I guess it could be fun to do what Mom did and go be a mermaid and learn what the tavern scene's like. But when I tried that before, you actively stopped me.
Wait, barmaid? What?
My mom, it's a long story. She had really powerful friends, but she just worked as like person who served you drinks at a bar. Is that not a term here?
Back up. What do you mean powerful friends? I guess. Like you're very capable yourself. You're saying that they're very powerful?
Oh, they're way stronger than I was. They taught me how to sing really good and how to use a sword.
Do you, out of curiosity, know where they are?
No. With Mom, probably, if she's okay.
I see. So serving at a bar is what you want to do?
No, but it might get an idea of just doing something. I'm getting bored, and staring at his chest is enticing and all, but he doesn't talk.
But you don't want to use you as you mentioned, you're good at the sword and your talents with singing and magic are very helpful. You wouldn't want to do anything in that capacity, there are simple contracts that you could pick up, very, very small things around town. You're not interested in anything like that?
Oh, do you mean I could, like, guard people and just, I don't know, kill rats for the innkeepers?
Long and short of it, yeah.
Ooh. Can I eat the rats if I kill them?
I think that will be up to whoever owns the rats. I assume they won't care. You know, to do this, we would have to make you a member of our guild. Are you okay with that?
I literally don't have context for what that means.
You've been eating our food for 2 months. You're okay with that. So what we're going to do then is we're going to go back to Dolvaran. You can come with us. I will run this by the guild, make sure this is okay. And then you are free to feast on as many rats as you like.
Okay, are
Make
you going to
money while you
show
do
me
it.
the ropes, or am I just going to be
Yes, we will show you the ropes. We're not going to leave you high and dry. Yes, we will help you.
Okay. So why is he here?
Okay, we're getting to that, I suppose. Hello, Sand.
He roughly nods at you.
Okay, so, wow. Okay. Where to begin? We, saw you when we were doing a job out of the mines. Met the person who had your contract, or it's an iteration of your contract, I assume, not the master contract. Is that correct?
There's a pause as if he's considering what you're saying, and then he nods.
And the contract holder, the primary one, is, I believe, in the city of Red Sands, correct?
Continues to nod.
Okay. I don't really know where to begin. I don't know much about Rasahari customs. I saw you in your station and I felt compelled to get involved, but I don't really know what that means, I suppose. Could you tell me about yourself in some capacity, or at least your contract, what that entails, how that came to be, and if you know of a way of circumventing or breaking it?
I am Sand, and I cannot answer the last questions. I have been ordered not to.
Can you tell me who you were ordered by?
The man who branded me.
Is he the one who owns your contract currently?
You do not understand much, do you? Are you not Tabaxi?
I am Dolvaran born. I've very scarcely been to the Rasahari, and I have not seen much of your culture.
I lost my honor. He owns me now. It is that simple.
Okay, can you have your honor restored in some capacity?
Why?
I assume to be free. Is that not how it works?
That is not how it works now.
Is there any means to be freed?
Why?
You don't want to be freed.
I deserve what has happened to me.
Why?
Why do you ask?
Because I don't understand. Why?
I don't understand how this is hard for you. I lost my honor. This is what happens.
I follow that. You said that you see no reason because you deserve that this happened to you.
Yes, I lost my honor.
What kind of grimaces? He looks frustrated.
See, he's really bad at this.
You see no point in finding a way to restore your lost honor, or rather, it cannot be done, is what you're telling me. Is that correct?
Roll insight. I do not understand the question. As you're kind of trying to figure this out and literally going around in circles, you're starting to notice that what caused him to lose his honor probably is deeply traumatic and personal to him, and he feels like he failed because you've kind of experienced that in your own life. And that's the problem. Like, he doesn't want to talk about his trauma to you just suddenly. But it's definitely some kind of trauma that he's unable to get over.
Okay. All right. Then, would you be amenable to accompanying us into the city to speak with the rest of our group?
Is that your orders?
I'm asking you if you are okay with that. It's not an order.
If that is what you want, I have no objections. Well, Rev, how is your conversation going in your own mind?
I mean, not great.
Gloucester, you are here. Do you want to interact with this at all, or are you just like, nope, going to go work?
I don't think Celastra has a lot to offer. She might just be quietly working.
Makes sense. Rev, roll me wisdom. If nothing else, he didn't object. So, it's something.
Yup.
My apologies. Apparently, I missed what you just said. May you repeat it? Or was it simply yep?
Oh yeah, I just said yep.
Okay, perfect. In that case, I'll simply ask, do you just go good enough and start heading back?
Yes.
Okay. Assuming that the group gets together to at least meeting everybody, and with Celastra's ability to cast Sending, that should not be a complicated issue. Would you like to move to that scene where you all get to figure out what to do next?
Sure.
Several days go by. Just so you're aware, Navali, Permelia does every now and then just want some time to herself, but I think so do you, so this works out.
Yes.
May I ask what you're doing on your time to yourself?
I would like Navali would probably spend a couple of days or maybe a day with the orphans, helping out around the orphanage. But I would also like her to go to a temple or Helm's Temple.
Sure. Is there something in particular you intend to do there?
I think she probably just wants to spend a little bit of like self-reflection and just maybe talk to the priestess. Like not really like anything super important, just sort of like get more understandings on teachings and whatnot.
All right. Please roll me a religion check.
I'm very good at those.
That's a lie.
I know I'm not. I'm very terrible. Yep. Can I argue that since I'm in a religious setting and I'm talking with a priestess, that I could get advantage?
No.
Okay.
You could
tried.
argue you would just fail.
Yeah.
So, ultimately speaking, you do some self-reflecting and you talk about kind of what's going on in your life with the priestess, and she's happy to listen to you. She has no insights. You don't know what you're doing.
That's about par for the course.
To be honest, you kind of expect this at this point. Hey, Six.
Hey.
I'm going to need you to roll me something. I'm going to make it sleight of hand.
Okay. Just straight sleight of hand.
Yes. You do not hurt yourself making the gunpowder.
Hell yeah.
Several days have gone by. You're not done yet. It's going to take a while longer. But you do just well enough that she's starting to just trust and leave you alone to do it while she's doing bartending, and asks, so do you want to know how to... I can teach you how to make one of these. And she takes out a couple of what looks like small spheres. I think it might help you in particular.
What do you mean?
So you seem like the kind of cat who runs up and just stabs things.
Yes. I like to make an opening for my allies.
Well, I have a couple of suggestions. One is more of just a... how do I put this? If you're not going to shoot them, maybe have a way to disperse them from further away. Or I can make a... So there's one that creates a very thick black smoke that I think you might find very useful.
I'm interested.
So let's just talk. Do you want to learn how to make the ones that are make smoke, or one that makes it more explosive? Because it's going to take some time to teach you.
I think your suggestion is good. We have a lot of high firepower people in our traveling group. I think that something that creates a distraction or a cover would be useful for us. I'll learn to do the smoke.
Very well. And she's going to show you how to pack it into a very certain way. So there's not really an explosion, but it spreads what's inside into this very thick and hard to breathe smoke. She does not actually use it inside the doors. She just takes you outside one day and shows exactly what it looks like, therefore making sure you're not choking indoors.
Makes sense.
But it looks extremely useful, and I'm just going to give you something.
I'm excited.
Boop. I assume that showed up.
It did. Excellent. Okay. Do I get one of these now, or do I have to pay the gold piece cost to...
You'd have to pay the gold piece cost, because you're literally making the gunpowder with her right now, and therefore it's kind of a, hey, if you want it, we're gonna have to charge you at the moment, because you're literally helping me make this stuff.
That makes sense. I don't have the money to pay for it right now. When my guild comes back in, I'll talk to our boss. Something like this could be really useful.
Sure. I mean, you're making enough product that I can probably make a few and give them to you and still have enough for myself.
She nods.
Don't worry, I'll still make sure you have some for the gun, too.
Yeah, I want to show it to you.
Good. We're not done yet.
Okay.
Rev.
She has no complaints about working. She just goes and does it.
Perfect. Actually, I should... Nope. I know what Karato did. Butcher, do you do anything particularly special while you're waiting for Rev to get back?
Actually, because assuming... I mean, of the people in Dulveron, everybody is sort of split up, so he doesn't really have a single place to hang out with people in. He would actually, at some point, go to the petitioner's office, recognizing that he's a guild member, and he's trying to assess of the jobs that somebody like him would now qualify for as a guild member. Would he make more or less money being independent and official versus being independent and unofficial, like under the table?
Roll intelligence.
One of my best stats, except it's not.
So ultimately, you think the gold might be similar, though maybe very slightly less, and you can't think of any other reasons why that would be useful.
And is this, being as that this would be the first time that he would consider taking a real job, is there something like he would have to register for? He's kind of unclear how he became a member and like how somebody can do that on his behalf without his permission. So he's like, is there something I need to fill out?
As you're kind of looking through this, it turns out they basically filled this out for you. They got you the guild badge, and all you have to do is go, yeah, no, we know that you officially exist for Shield of the Outcast, and there's no issues. If you finish a job, you simply have to come here, and you will get the gold for it.
Great. I'll peruse with the notion that I can't pick anything up today because I'm currently on a job, but trying to become familiar with the landscape of like how this all works so that he can pick some things up when he is on his own.
There is a lot of things that you find that would be very simple, and while it's not as much as, for example, the amount you're getting paid for guarding them, go patrol around the farmlands for 50 gold over the course of 2 weeks is not bad.
Yeah.
Significantly less dangerous.
Yeah. He probably has some unease with his name being on paper, but so that's it. He's learned what he needs to learn.
Okay. Rev, you get back, and Celestra manages to use sending to get everyone together without too much issue.
Okay. So I suppose I wanted to. Is VD here? Can we have had this sort of private from?
I mean, you literally traveled on the way there. If you want, you can just say, hey, wait here, and just get NPCs out of the way.
Yeah, I think so.
Do you have both VD and Sand wait elsewhere?
Yeah, I think so.
Do you still summon Permelia?
Yes.
I just assume so. I just want to make sure she's there. Continue.
All right. Well, so I went back to retrieve VD and Sand, as I said I would. One thing I wanted to talk to everybody about is what to do about, well, both of them, I suppose. Starting with VD, how do we feel about making her part of the guild so that she can work and not just eat all our food?
I'm for it.
She mentioned she was getting bored, and we know that she could at least do some of the less dangerous jobs around town. Help out could be beneficial, right?
Oh, they're really easy. I can probably even show her how to do some of them.
I mean, the three of us pointing at VD and Permelia. Like in a few weeks, I'll be available too. If we wanted to start our own little crew and take on some more dangerous, maybe exciting things.
I
Or we
don't
can
know.
keep it really easy so it's not exciting for her.
I was just going to say, I think that she sort of wants to avoid excitement, at least on the scale that we typically encounter.
Offer still open to you then, Permelia, assuming that you're sticking around.
I don't know what I'm doing yet.
I should say out of character that Butcher doesn't necessarily know that Permelia was job hunting, so I don't know if I should retcon that or not.
I mean, she did openly say like she could help show VD, so
Yeah.
you have the idea that she probably was. Does anyone object to that? Is still 100 gold, right?
It is, which is again why I wanted to sort of make this a group decision.
You
Are
paid
we okay
100
with-
gold for me?
Yes, they do that.
Wow. Anyway, continue.
acceptable to everyone?
Mm-hmm.
To the opposite, no one has objected. So
Very good. I will. Yeah, we'll get that taken care of then.
So, did you have Celestia mentally contact all of us just for that?
Well, no, not exactly. I had some difficulty speaking with Sand. I'm not really sure. Maybe I just really needed to talk to Six about this. Maybe I did just gather everyone just for that. I apologize.
Okay, Navali, want to go down a date?
Sure. That sounds lovely.
So, Rev, do you just try and get Six off to the side so you can talk to her now?
Yeah, she's free.
Sure. I'm presuming Varya doesn't mind if I took some time off to go meet with my guild.
Of course not, especially since you apparently need them to give you an allowance.
Okay, first of all, while we've got everyone here, smoke bombs. 50 gold a pop, creates a big fucking cloud. Totally great the next time we get, like, in a bad situation in combat. Varya showed them to me. They're super cool. We gotta get one as in case of an emergency.
I can agree with that.
Sounds fun.
It creates this big, thick smoke. You gotta chuck them. Like, it doesn't go away. It lasts so long, and it stinks. Like, if we threw that on a bunch of enemies, they'd be coughing and hacking, and they would be so inconvenienced.
I think it's a sound investment.
Okay, it's 50 gold. Can I take some out of the guild fund and have it as, like, a backup?
Of course.
Okay. You wanted to talk to me, Rev?
Yeah. Yeah. Regarding the, well, Rasahari, you know. I had some difficulty relating to Sand. I don't know how to do this or where to begin. So, Honor, could you explain this to me as though I am a child, this concept? How does it play into whatever, the culture, the people?
When you're Rasahari, being strong is what matters. And if you want to move up in the world, then you got to step on people to do it. And when you think you're stronger than you are and you get beat, then someone brands you to show that you're pathetic. And they own you. I've observed the Butcher doing this, haven't I?
Many times. He makes a game out of it.
My teacher... Is Permelia still here?
No, you got took off to the side for this.
Dad did it all the time. When someone would try to challenge him, wanting his position or trying to kill him, he'd make a game out of it.
Out of branding people?
Yeah. It's so they have to wear their failure on their body for everyone to see.
And you witnessed this?
She nods.
Okay. Right. So is that it then? Once you are branded, I mean that's always there. So are you just are owned by them? They own you?
Do I... Oh, there... Is that okay to talk about, Skern?
Sure.
There is one way out. If the branding is incorrect, then you prove it with your strength. You get the resources, and you can hire... I don't know the word for them. There's some kind of spellcaster that talks to the land, and they can remove your brand. And then you're free.
So I want to make sure I understand this. The brand being incorrect, meaning you are stronger than the person who branded you?
That's right.
Out of curiosity, I know very little about this, but hypothetically, the person who branded, let's say, well, the person who brands you, let's say, they die of old age or someone else kills them. What happens to you?
Do I know the answer, Skern?
They go to whoever killed them, and if it's old age, then you're supposed to kill yourself.
Well, if someone kills the person who branded you, then you become their property instead. And if they die of old age, then you're supposed to kill yourself. You don't have any use anymore.
That being said, that latter happened almost never happens on Rasahari.
That never happens, though. It's pretty violent.
It's also more of a dying of old age that never happens.
So one more time for my own clarity, I apologize that I've asked this probably 3 times in the same or different ways. If we can prove that the brand is incorrect by virtue of Sand being stronger than the person who branded him, then we can speak to this land collar person and the brand can possibly be removed.
I mean... So, Skern, how is this normally done? Is it proven through valor? Is it bought with money?
The answer is yes.
If it's suitably impressive and you catch the attention of one of these spellcasters, then yes. But that'll probably take Sand killing the person who branded him in a very public display, and then killing all the people who try to kill him as a result.
That's not what I had in mind at all.
It's all about power, Rev, and you have to show that you're powerful.
And put another way, there's not really any way that we can assist him or anyone in a similar position. Is that correct?
Not unless you can get rid of his brand. Why? Was he trying to get rid of it?
Oh, that was just me asking.
A lot of people get... What's the word for it? They don't try to undo it.
I'm beginning to see that.
Well, think about it. Like, if someone like my dad brands you, then sometimes it's safer to go do what he says because he lives in a nicer place and has more stuff than whatever person's out there. At least you get a place to stay.
You've given me a lot to think about. Thank you, Six.
She nods a little grimly.
If it's just Karuta and I, if that's over.
Do either of you have anything else to say? Go ahead, Karuta and Butcher.
Because like Navali and Permelia wandered off, NPCs are off to the side, and then those two are off to the side. So I imagine it's just Karuta and I sitting there. And I say, so how do you feel about all that's going on these days?
Do you mean in regards to the guild or my own situation?
I don't really honestly know much about your situation. I'm just trying to get a... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, if you mean the guild, well, we have achieved what we set out to do. We are here to protect those who are outcast, and we are only growing in that regard.
I don't consider myself to be an outcast.
Well, of course, I would not presume to label you as such. I was merely referring to my new acquaintance and our feline friend.
I just don't understand. I mean, I'm just going to level set with you. I don't understand what is being asked of me. Rev does know that I intend to end this, kind of gesturing to his own body, end this, and then go back and be on my merry way. 100 gold is a lot to spend on what? Me going around Dolveron doing my own jobs? Like, what does that even do?
I did sort of ponders for a moment. I'm not entirely sure what his purpose was in doing such a thing, but I suppose it was a gesture of goodwill for all you have done for us.
All that I was paid to do for you. I mean, I'd say this respectfully, I would not have done it if there wasn't money involved, and I wouldn't have even known who you were.
I take no offense to such words, but at the same time, perhaps there was a... Maybe I think it is in this culture called a tip. It is for a job well done, well performed, with good honor.
Are you going to need help with your ordeal?
Well, such remains to be seen. It is difficult to tell what the future holds when I can barely even grasp what I am to do next.
Well, if there's something I can help with, it seems I'm on the payroll now, so I know I have something about investigating this orphanage that Navali is really inspired by, and if you're looking for anything that could use my support while you and your friends are away, then maybe I can keep an eye out. Or if my talents are of any particular use in your ordeal, which again I still don't really know much about, then just let me know.
The offer is sincerely appreciated. Thank you, Butcher.
That's all from me.
Okay. So, two things very quickly. Karuto, I assume you actually mentioned that you want to get Toshiyuki into the guild.
Yes.
Rev, do you spend that 200 gold for VD and Toshiyuki?
Yes.
Congratulations, you have more guild members. Weird.
Hooray.
Well, that was easy.
So, for the sake of some brevity, I'm just going to ask, is there anything in particular that people do for the next 2 weeks in Doveran? Basically until Butcher's contract is up.
Fee 6. Fee 6, sir. Did you want to ask more questions of the bottle? Says character one evening.
I'm so sorry. That was to me, yeah.
Yes.
I do have one more, if it's okay. But I need your help.
Of course.
I thought a lot about how to ask the question about Mom, but I don't know how to ask this question. Maybe you're smart. Maybe you can help me word it the right way?
Well, I shall certainly do my best.
I want to know what happens if we go looking for my brother. But I don't just want to ask what'll happen if we meet my brother, because I kind of have a good idea of what that'll be like.
Perhaps we ask what could be the worst consequence?
Oh, maybe we don't do that one. I don't think that it's going to be positive, Karuto.
He nods.
And I want to know, like, maybe there's something we can do where it will be positive?
Perhaps what action would lead to the best outcome were we to meet your brother?
That's a good way of putting it. What can I do to have a good meeting with my brother? Does that sound like a good question?
He nods. That feels like we have refined the point, yes.
Okay, let's try that.
Just
Okay.
make this a thing. Karuto, roll my wisdom.
Let's go. Straight up wisdom?
Yep.
Cool. Oof.
You see your friend Six walking into a field of flowers, and you can't quite see what she's facing, but you can tell that her weapons are out. The biggest thing that you immediately notice is the entire rest of the group is off to the side. They are making sure they don't get near these flowers. Only Six is walking forward. Also, stop rolling well in wisdom.
No.
I think that makes sense.
It seems simple enough. In order to have a good meeting, we must let you do it on your own.
She nods along, much calmer about this one than the previous prediction.
Also much more sober.
Thanks for letting me use your bottle. This thing's pretty cool.
It is an unexpected but welcome gift.
I wonder what else it can tell us. It's pretty cool that Tushiyuki's sticking around. That went way better than I thought.
Again, further proof that we cannot predict the future, no matter how hard we try.
That's what the bottle's for. You hear from the other room.
Okay. Big skeleton, pearl, sandstone. Nobody else on the flowers, weapons out. Thanks, Karito.
He nods.
Anything else people would like to do during these 2 weeks?
Celastra might try to do a couple odd jobs with her dwarven friends to make a couple bucks.
Please roll me smithing tools.
Hmm.
I'll give you advantage because I know you cheated at least once.
Oop, I didn't do advantage.
Yep, just roll a second time.
Woohoo!
18. At the very least, they are happy to have you, and they notice that you definitely have a lot of talent and knowledge, but it's just slightly different from what they're used to. So while they can't have you do your normal jobs, they definitely want to use you to make more exotic things. Go ahead and add an additional 15 gold.
Excellent.
Damn.
Nice.
Continuing the question, is there anything else people are particularly planning to do over the next 2 weeks?
I think Rev would finish reading up on his family history and probably spend some time in the docks.
Cool. Roll me wisdom saving throw. Cool. Don't worry about it.
Why would anybody worry? There's no reason to be worried at all.
Everything's fine.
Anything else people are planning to do for those 2 weeks?
Gun.
Okay. I'd like another sleight of hand with advantage this time. It takes almost the entire 2 weeks to finish all of those barrels, but you get it done. And as payment, Varya would like to take apart the gun. Do you let her do this without objection?
As promised, yes, but Six is anxious and nearby as it happens. I suppose it's also fair to say that this is something that's very important to her and she's not hiding it.
As she does this, you can tell that she doesn't really understand how it works at all. So with a bit of your guidance, whenever she's trying to kind of figure out how pieces can get removed without breaking it, she manages to investigate it pretty thoroughly. You can tell from the look on her face she's disappointed. She has no fucking idea how to make a gun. But she doesn't break it.
Cool.
And then she hands it back to you. She gathers a variety of pouches and hands it to you. You now have enough gunpowder for 20 shots.
Excellent.
Additionally, if you'd like to get more, I'm sorry, it's these. You know this is pretty hard to get, so I can't make this cheap. It would be another 10 gold for every 5 shots.
Can I have one more charge? I've got 2 gold on me.
I'll overstack one of these, sure.
Can you set up a target in the back?
Yeah, if you want, you can even shoot it indoors. We have the training area. The basement is surprisingly large, as I'm sure you noticed.
Are people staying at the Tandem Imperium?
Yes.
Okay.
With the exception of Navali and the NPCs.
Gotcha. This is something she wants to do in front of other people, so at some point when we reconvene, I want to fire it where they can see it.
Does anyone object to 6 happily going, I want to show you something awesome?
Nope.
Celastra's interested.
Sure.
Yeah.
The only person who probably doesn't want to come along but wants to come along is Permelia, simply because you have to go through the Tandem Imperium.
6 is thrilled. This is a sort of giddy, almost childlike grin that's very different from the sort of smile she has in battle when she really gets pumped. Okay. So Varya and I were working together, and I got a bunch of gunpowder. And long story short, I think my gun works. I haven't fired it yet. I wanted to show all of you guys the first shot.
What's a gun?
It's like a super-powered crossbow.
Character instantly looks more interested.
Okay, can I show you?
Please do.
All right.
Please give me an attack roll.
I'm going to, even though this is just on a target, I'm going to spend a superiority die to make this a trip attack.
Okay.
So from the furthest side of the room, there's a thunderous bang. And little...
Karto, Navali, your ears are literally bleeding. This is it. An explosion happened right next to you. You may continue.
Several metal pellets fly faster than imagining at this target. And knock it down, backward, splinter it? I don't know.
You knock through the target completely. Instead of splintering the entire target, you rip through the bottom half of it, and the bottom half immediately cracks, breaking the stand itself, and it falls flat. You're pretty sure that would have been a crotch shot if that was a person.
It works! It still works!
Those with keen hearing, this is the worst news. This means she can do it more times.
Fiona, I have to ask, maybe do not do that so close next time.
You're the one who stood right next to me.
I was... What?
She's looking around with just a look of giddy excitement, looking for approval?
Rev looks impressed.
Butcher's just cleaning out his ears.
This thing can shoot really, really, really far away. It's like a really big bow.
I think that could be very useful.
In fact, as the smoke starts to clear from the gun, you notice that the bit of metal that was lodged inside not only ripped through the stand, but is now embedded in the stone behind it.
Look at this. The next time we fight a big monster, and I can't get in close, I'm gonna shoot it in the face with this. I'm gonna knock its whole fucking skull in.
Well, you seem quite excited.
Definitely a very powerful weapon. Impressive.
She gushes about how great guns are and how excited she is to have her gun back for like a solid 15 minutes.
I'm sure at least half of you feel very awkward having to listen to this and not figuring out how to give an excuse to walk away.
Can I shoot it?
No.
Oh.
How easy is it to show someone how to shoot a gun? Like, could he?
So, you could show him how to use it. The problem isn't so much that it's difficult. It's really just it's put into literally bags that you pour into the gun itself and then put in the metal bullet and then fire. By the way, I'm assuming that you just have Celestia make the metal bullets. I'm not even going to have a cost charge for that.
Gotcha.
The issue is more the ammunition, and also if the gun jams, they might not know how to unjam it, whereas with you, it's just like, okay, you just have to push here, and then some of the gunpowder comes out, and that's not too bad.
Could I feasibly buy another round and let Butcher fire it?
You give Varya another 2 gold?
I sure fucking do.
Sure. By the way, we're telling everyone upstairs that the world is ending and that therefore we get more business. So you know.
Okay, well, we're gonna go make the world end a second time, so...
Yep, please do. Apparently it makes people more excited. It's weird.
Okay, Navali, Karuto, you might want to stand back. Butcher, this is how you put the powder in.
Navali is already walking out.
Well, I'm imagining you're putting in the powder for me, but...
Yeah.
Do you hand it to me?
Yeah, I show you how to hold it and how to shoot it.
How sturdy does this wall look?
Extremely sturdy.
I'm going to cast Enlarge Person on myself.
Sure.
I want to turn this thing into a cannon.
You successfully become bigger, but all it does is the additional D4 damage.
Yeah, well, still. I just like the visual that it is now like twice as big as it was before. And so I just point and do this, and as I say do this, I actually pull the trigger.
Cool.
Naruto is already ready with his hands up above his head and like strange enough, like almost over the top of his scalp. Not where normal people's ears would be. Just pushing them down flat.
Butcher, please roll me a... I'll let you have proficiency since 6 showed you how to use it, but a dexterity attack from ranged. Go ahead and roll me 2d8 plus 1d4.
Oh boy.
Another solid boom. And the second target that you set up explodes into shrapnel, and the bullet keeps going and actually seems to go even deeper than when 6 fired. It's a good thing those walls are sturdy, because that stone is now starting to crack a little bit as you keep shooting at it.
Good God. They should not. Okay, 6. I'm gonna turn small, or turn normal size again. I'm gonna say, people should not have these, but it's cool that you have one.
Yeah. Next time we fight an Eidolon monster, I'm gonna shoot it right in the fucking head. It's gonna be so great. Yeah, these are why Iridia can't invade New Victoria, by the way. Because they're all like, oh, look at us in our big fancy Iridian armor, and then pow, 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 pow.
Assume
Butcher
then,
Butcher doesn't have much more to say. He's just sort of enjoying the atmosphere.
I assume then everyone gets to listen to Six be excitedly talking about how cool guns are for the next 20 minutes.
You're correct.
Celastra is listening intently.
The one thing that I will find very funny is, so how do they work? You put the gunpowder in and fires. She has no idea how a gun actually works.
Yep.
Navali, you said you were planning to do something during the 2 weeks as well.
Yeah. Whenever Perm is not busy doing off the thing that she didn't tell Diwali that she was going to be doing,
It's
hang out
weird.
with
She
her.
seems to have money to pay for the dates this time.
Yeah, that's a little suspicious. And other than that, just helping out with the orphanage a couple days and visiting the Helm Temple some more. Maybe even talking to the priestess there to see if she might know anything about Scarlet or heard about him.
No, they don't seem to know anything about Scarlet. However, I will say, simply for the sake of some brevity, you do get a hold of Stray eventually. Who do you take with you to talk to her?
At very least, Rev.
You're directed to a restaurant, and it's a different restaurant from the last time you saw her, but she is clearly also going to pay for the gold here. And the familiar middle-aged woman gives a warm smile to you. It's nice that none of you are dead this time. I was told you wanted to talk to Iridia about Iridia.
Yes. Specifically more about a particular person. I was told that he is some sort of folk hero, General Scarlet.
Oh, that's kind of funny. Why do you want to know about Scarlet?
You must know at least what happened to the. Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of her forest.
You could just say my home. I can
Yeah, my
translate
home.
for you.
Okay. What became of my homeland, as far as I've been made aware of, he is the one responsible for what happened there.
I suppose that makes sense. I actually was in the military during that time, but I was not assigned to the northern reaches. Yes, I know some things about him, though I'm certainly not the best person to talk to about this.
Do you know who might be good to talk to then?
Yes, Linnell talks about him all the time. She trained under him.
Oh, well. Navali inwardly is like, "Ah, man." It made her feel bad. Hmm. I guess then we'll need to speak to Linnell. But Stray, if I can also ask, was this General Scarlet often going to other places and taking them over in the name of Iridia, or was this just sort of a one-time thing?
Was a military man. You do what you're ordered. It's less of a will decision there, though. As I was starting to become disillusioned, I've heard that he stopped obeying many orders. I believe that was after the Consoligo Forest, not before, however. So, if nothing else, that came from higher up than him, most likely.
I see. Was there anything that Rev wanted to ask?
No.
Don't think I have, or Navali has anything else to ask about that. Yeah, I think I'm good from there.
She will. She's happy to just do some idle talk and catch up. She will then actually give you an address to talk to her more directly, so you don't have to go through Crow every time. As she explains, it's very awkward when my sword started to talk to me and I had to recognize the voice. I'd prefer that not to continue to happen.
Yes, of course. Our apologies. Thank you. We do appreciate this, and for taking some time to speak with us.
You're quite welcome. I hope that everything else worked out for you. I know Vari, at the very least, has been working one of you for the mission I sent you on originally. So,
Yes.
I have to ask, do you then go talk to Linnell after this?
Navali knows that she needs to, but on the way, she'll go like, "Oh, Rev, I think I made an ass of myself."
How do you mean?
Uh, you know, with Linnell, and, uh, getting a little defensive about Perm.
Ah, I don't know about that. Perhaps. And besides, she seems reasonable, I suppose, right? We just.
Plain sight.
Uh,
Oh yeah, you can believe what you want.
okay, sorry, I've got nothing.
No, it's all right. I should have kept in control of my emotions there. A little difficult, but I'll try not to make an ass of myself again.
So I have to ask, do you just head immediately there?
If Rev's good with that.
Yeah, I think so.
Rev, how do you feel about being the support for this awkward conversation that's likely about to happen?
I sure don't know.
You head back inside. It's still, at this point, Stray would have probably do something morning, so it's still afternoon, and therefore it's not too bad to get the attention of who you need to talk to, who's in her workshop working on some things. And I'm going to assume you're not here for my armor, especially since apparently you've decided to hide your chest from now on. Weird. Can I help you?
Yes, Linnell, are you busy at the moment? Can you chat?
Sure. Hold on. She just puts away a hammer and immediately starts cooling off a forge. What do you need?
Well, we were told that you might know something about a General Scarlet.
Oh, Master. What about him?
Navali, like, kind of tries to hold back from irking at that. I heard he was a folk hero. I heard that he was greatly respected.
So he does so many interesting things, and he uses a large sword and taught me how to use it way better than I could before. Instead of discouraging me from learning how to make things because of my nature, he encouraged it, and really the only reason I'm able to do anything is because of him.
Encouraged you to make things?
Mm-hmm.
What happened to the things you made?
What do you mean?
Did I don't know, did he take them, or I'm just curious?
No, he oftentimes makes sure that they weren't given to people, or he'd use some kind of spell on them before he gave them to people, but I couldn't tell what spell it was. It's probably something used to give it a blessing.
Ah.
And did he know about I assume he knew about you,
Oh, yes.
and he was still kind to you?
Mm-hmm. He, um, wonder what I'm supposed to be allowed to say. One moment. She runs out for a second. Could you roll me persuasion?
Yes.
She comes back in a moment later. So I talked to Crow, and I'm supposed to be able to talk to you about anything because you already know our deepest and darkest secrets. So, you want to know what happened to me? She gets very close as she says this.
If you are comfortable talking about it.
Oh, sure. See, I was summoned to, devour the souls of the innocent and make sure that everything that ever irked this family who summoned me die a horrible, bloody death. And then they realized they summoned a succubus, and then they went, oh, that's fine. We could just use you to seduce other nobles. And then they forgot that they didn't do the circle right, so I killed them all. That was fun. Anyway, the villagers then saw that a demon was living there, and they went, oh, we probably can't go there. And then a big, strong man, who you keep mentioning all the time, came to go stop me. And we had a long conversation, and then he thought I was interesting. Instead of wanting to kill me, he helped trade me.
Navali looks to Rev. That seems a little off for Iridians.
Can we go back for a moment? Who was the family that summoned you?
I don't remember. Their souls tasted terrible, though.
They were Iridians.
Oh, yes, definitely.
Huh.
How long did you train with him?
Year and a half. Eventually he has this weird thing where he just kind of looks off in the distance, and he'd come to like an idea of where he needs to go next, and eventually that happened, and he said I needed to go someplace, and he's not going to come with me this time, and that's how I saw someone familiar, Varia killing everybody, and I went, ooh, I can stop that, and I charmed her, and that's how I met all of these people.
So you didn't... Is it the Kokari Wilds?
Consoligo.
Consoligo. Did you go to the Consoligo forest?
No, I don't even know where that is.
Right, well, that does set my mind a little at ease. He didn't tell you where he was going?
No, he seems to just kind of wander. He doesn't even seem to have a home. Honestly, the fact he said he's a general, I didn't believe him. He seemed more like a wandering bum. Very stubbly. Super stubbly.
Was he like that around everybody he met? As in, like, nice and...
He's more like always serious.
You wouldn't happen to know where he is, would you?
No. After he told me to go that place, he didn't tell me where he went, and I don't know where he went.
Well, I figured I might still...
Do you want to know his magic?
His magic?
Mm-hmm. He taught me some spells. They're really cool.
Yes,
he knows one of them.
I would love that, but no.
Okay. I'm going to teach you one of the most interesting spells. Roll Arcana.
Roll Arcana.
Alternatively, religion. Up to you.
Oh, God. I'm not good at... Well, I guess I'm better at religion than I am Arcana. Could I give it to Rev? If Rev's good at Arcana?
Oh, Rev. She's trying to teach her Scarlet Turning Point.
Oh, Rev is not good at Arcana. But also... Yeah.
Is this the kind of spell that hurts?
Yep.
Ugh. Rev, was that the one that you got hit by a couple of times? Or is that a different one? I can't remember.
Oh, no, that was a different one. This is the one where I would sort of destroy my body in the course of learning it, if you recall that one.
Oh, it was messy. Took me months.
I don't know if I could survive that, Linnell.
He did. You're way sturdier than he is.
I guess.
If you want to, let's go grab Celastra just to be safe.
Paul's
Yes.
here.
Oh, okay. Well, okay.
Right. Sure. If we can ask Qualm to come in, sure. I'll see about this.
You see her run off, and Navale, you have keen hearing. You can actively hear the conversation of, I'm going to do that spell that almost kills me. You want to come kiss the person better? And a very excited, yes! Kisses! Hugs and kisses! Get the feeling no one's taking this as seriously as it should be, considering how dangerous this spell is.
Navali, while they are gone, Navali will sort of like lean into Red and be like, please do not tell Permelia that I am doing this. I don't want her to worry.
I won't. You don't. No concern there. But I am curious. You're sure about this, or are you? It's very painful, dangerous, perhaps. I think you'll be fine if she thinks you'll be fine, but
Well,
could you roll me insights? Rev, you know for certain she would teach this to anybody.
okay. Let's scratch that. Actually, she would. I think she's just excited to show it off. So again, I'm not trying to discourage this. I just want to make sure that you're going in, eyes wide open.
yes, unfortunately, I'm not sure. I guess if I have anything that might help me against it, but I want to know about this man's magic. The more that I know about his magic, the better I can, well, the better that it can be used against him in the future.
I see. I can respect that.
Thank you. But I don't want Perm to get worried.
Of course, I won't say a thing.
Thank you. I do appreciate it.
Revel on.
Upon them returning, she starts teaching you some gestures and symbols that you need to use. You can feel as if it is directly interacting with your muscles, so you understand why it's going to be very painful. Please roll me Religion or Arcana.
Religion or Arcana. Okay. Religion is better for me, so oh shit. Okay, that's better than usual.
That is shockingly what you needed for your level.
Hell yeah.
You feel nauseated and dizzy for a moment, and it feels as if your body is constantly tightening in ways that it's not supposed to. Take 9 damage before you start to realize, okay, it's just like it's flowing through me. If I can focus on it, I can stop it. And then you stop it on your own. And Linnell seems very shocked that you have already learned the spell that took her months. Rev, Navali just learned that spell that took you months.
Wow. Damn, that you can control it?
I think so.
It's very impressive.
Can Navali try to see if she can activate it on her own?
Sure. Mark off a level 3 spell slot, and then you successfully do so. Immediately take 1d6 damage.
Right?
And
Noted.
then you can bonus action to turn it off.
She will do that. Yeah, I think I got it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Thanks. You'll have to show me, I guess, creative ways I can use this.
Yes, and Linnell,
Hmm?
you said you taught you several spells, yes?
Mm-hmm. I haven't mastered any of the other ones, but I know a few more.
I think we would be very interested in learning them as well.
They all hurt.
So be it.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to start showing you the things that I don't know how to do.
I'm gonna have Navali top herself off with lay on hands before they continue.
Okay. For the sake of some brevity, I'm just going to ask for another religion roll from Navali and Arcana from Rev.
Right? Yo!
That sounds about right.
No, but like Navali got a 22, jeez.
Oh yeah.
Navali,
Yeah.
you quickly learn that you do not know how to do this spell. Like, it's beyond your level. For example, you would need a level 4 spell to cast it.
Gotcha.
But when you are able to do that, you figure it out. What it essentially does is allows you to make melee strikes within 30 feet of you, as long as you're taking 1d4 damage each round.
Oh, shit, that's cool.
It is not concentration, but you can't do it yet.
Yeah.
Rev, you start coughing up blood immediately.
Yeah.
Navali will give lay on hands for Rev.
Thank you, Navali.
Of course.
Is that something that having at least seen it perform or partially performed, can I work on that on my own, or do I need to come back and work with Linnell?
Navali now can kind of teach you how to do it.
Oh.
Because she got the DC of 21
I was
somehow.
hoping to say that.
On a religion roll, too! Oh, that's crazy.
Helm says destroy your enemies.
Mind you, because you can actually cast it, Rev, your DC is lower. It is physically possible for you to learn it. So anyway, that's how you do all these things that are going to physically wreck your body, and why is he still coughing up blood?
Perhaps just needs some more practice. Thank you, Linnell. I appreciate this.
Yes, thank you.
And he can do all these things really easily. Also, for some reason, it doesn't hurt him as much. I don't know how he does that part.
He does sound formidable. I should probably help my friend get some rest. But thank you again, Linnell. We really do appreciate it.
You're quite welcome. So you're not mad at me? Why were you mad at me anyway?
Yes, I'm sorry about that. That was very rude of me. Perm is in town, but
she still is?
She is. Navali blushes. She's spoken for.
Oh. Do you think she'd be up for threesomes?
Navali blushes, like, increases. Like, Linnell, I think I should. Rev looks really hurt. Rev, you look really hurt. Come on, we're gonna go get you, somewhere to sleep. Yes, alright, bye. Thank you, bye.
Bye?
Navali is literally dragging Rev out of there as fast as she can.
Rev, you do get some kisses on the way out, and you were able to move. You understood everything that just happened there.
Very good.
Rev,
Yes.
did I make more of an ass of myself?
I think you're fine.
Okay.
Okay. Anything else people wanted to do for that 2-week break?
Learn that neat trick.
I'll let you roll 2 more times. I'm not telling you the DC.
Arcana.
Yep.
Oh boy. Yep.
Navali,
Yeah?
you try to teach Rev, and for a couple of days, you just have to spend your entire lay on hands and making sure he doesn't die.
I would probably also at least mention to Celastra that Rev is going to do a spell that hurts him again.
Yeah, I'm
He's doing
gonna
it again.
assume that if she's around at any point in the day, she'll help out and make sure Rev doesn't die.
Future downtime activity, Rev. You'll do it eventually, maybe.
Just gotta practice.
Anything else people intend to do for those 2 weeks?
I want to go find some gangsters.
Do you actually do that?
No.
What? Why not?
I mean, if anybody else is interested in finding some gangsters. Has Roswin reached out at all about
Not yet,
potential?
no.
Okay. Figured. Maybe wait until we get some information.
Fair enough. Butcher, your contract time has ended. What do you do?
Butcher doesn't really have a calendar. He sort of is following an assumption that he will be found and paid when the time's right. He'll kind of just sensing that it will come out eventually. He's probably spending more time than usual sitting out on stoops outdoors in more accessible locations. It almost sounds like I might have been allowed in the Tandem Imperium at some point more recently, but if the party is around, he'll just be sort of in the periphery.
As the 2 weeks kind of go by, you do see definitely a small child walk by and just give you a small note, then run away. The note just reads, "Go home."
Am I supposed to assume something from that?
That's up to you. That kind of happens with the urchin.
But it didn't come with a pouch of money.
Nope.
What the fuck? I'll just pop my head in and be like, I'm going for a walk. I'll be back. And then I'll go interpreting the message, recalling that the Tandem Imperium is maybe a couple blocks away or not very far away from where my family was. I'll just sort of, I'm not kind of assuming or treating that as code for a meeting location. I'm trying to not go in the shop, but just hover around the area and see if I see the kid.
Roll investigation. You don't see the kid. You do sometimes kind of see movement all about, and you're hyper aware, but you don't see anything that seems like someone who hired you or the meeting spot. And then as you're considering in other opportunities, I'd like you to roll me just a basic perception. You notice something just off to the side in a bush. And as you kind of glance inside, you quickly realize that is a bag with what appears to be something tied to it that's keeping it closed, as well as like a letter tied to what's tied to that.
I will grab it and open it up, or jingle it to see if it has the
It has the
coins.
weight of coins, yes.
I'll read the note.
Job
just
done.
To confirm.
That's all it says.
Butcher, just in confirming how much, I think it's probably 250.
250.
That's what I'm expecting. Okay. He doesn't sit there counting it. He's just like, all right, this has the weight that I expect it to have. He kind of narrows his eyes through the window of his family's shop and then just to peek and see if they're open. And then we'll go back to the Tame Imperium.
They are not currently open.
Is it expected that based on whatever hour it is that they just wouldn't be open right now?
So this happened midday. There's in your mind, you're like, it's possible they went out for lunch, and that happens sometimes. We're like, we're closing because we're going to go eat ourselves.
Okay. I'll go back to the Tame Imperium with the intent on maybe stopping by again later.
Makes sense.
And so am I correct to say that I'm now allowed in, at least that they're not in succubus mode all times?
Yes, that they don't kick you out anymore. They're kind of like hey, now if you want to drink, you have to pay us. Please do not take those drinks. We have an actual bartender.
Yeah. I'll stick around with the expectation that eventually the entire party would make themselves available for breakfast or dinner or something. Just kind of like, rather than go seeking people out, I'll be there waiting for them to arrive.
I'm going to come to the assumption that that is true, that there's every now and then people just kind of group up and see how everyone else is doing. Seems like something this guild does all the goddamn time.
Well, Butcher will reach into the pouch and pull out 33 gold and slap it down in front of Solastra. Finally ready to pay back for that magic potion that you helped me buy.
Oh, thank you. I had totally forgotten.
Of course. I suppose I am... suppose that job is done. I see that none of you died, thankfully, so...
Technically, yes.
Yeah, I mean, technically somebody did die, but my employer didn't seem to know or care, so...
Fair enough. What do you plan to do now?
Oh, what do you plan to do now? It's been a long couple of weeks of just sitting here walking around town. Are you guys going to go? Where are you going?
Well, personally, I'm interested in going to New Victoria. It sounds like we have some potential business to do there.
Is that far away?
From what I understand, it's not a short journey.
I mean, if you guys are in Dolveron, I'd be happy to hang out, but I feel like I'd rather stay here.
Fair enough. Do you live in the city?
Well, I'm going to have to find an inn of some kind, but I don't have a home per se. So maybe I'll stop by here, though I don't know if this isn't really the sleeping establishment that you guys have turned it into, is my guess. I'm not really here to pay by the hour, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I think you're right.
Butcher's kind of looking around at everybody, trying to gauge, like, maybe showing a sense of guilt that he may be leaving in such a hurry. And just sort of, again, pulls the guild badge out of his pocket, which he hasn't really formally worn yet, and says, like, if I'm putting this on, then outside of the orphanage, what would you like me to do? Looking at Rev, looking at Six, Karto, Navali, everybody.
I think the awkward silence is them thinking about it.
Oh, go ahead.
I suppose, as with everything, uphold our values, protect those who need protecting. If you can find contracts in the less advantaged districts that you feel you can perform, then I guess do your best.
Yeah, keep your eye out for people who don't get treated fairly and try to help them.
I will nod.
And these orphans, looking at Navali, remind me, trying to use my talent for disguise to find evidence of some kind of tax corruption.
Basically, and Navali will just re-explain what she talked about with Rosalind, with the whole this lady's just avoiding tax stuff, and orphans aren't getting the promised suitable living. Lots of money. Yes, there it is.
Well, I can try my best. If you guys are going away for a long time, do you need somebody to pay the baker guy again while you're gone? I don't know how long you guys are, how long the Victoria is.
I think that could be helpful.
Well, I'm not hoping that you trust me with guild funds, but if you want to if you want me to take care of that, I'll just pay for it and then I can get it back later if the time comes.
I think that's fair.
Well, honestly, I don't have much more to say. It's awkward. You guys have a real penchant for bringing out the awkwardness, so maybe it's best that I just leave and then say that I'll see you again next time.
Good luck.
I'll miss you, Butcher.
Well, and actually, I think if you don't mind, Six, I was going to take you for a walk really quick.
Sure. That okay with you guys?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Not sure where this falls in the timeline, but my goal is to request Six to come with me at a time where I think that the shop will be open.
Sure. You just wait basically after the conversation, you go back there after waiting 15 to 20 minutes, and you're like, if they're eating lunch, they'll be back by now.
Okay.
And it is, in fact, open. You can see people on the insides trying to go and move about.
So we come across, as I would describe it, Scrim can correct me, but it's just a store on a street corner, and unlike, restaurants that may have branding of some kind, it is literally just like, it's like when you go to the barber shop and it just says barber up top, except it's butcher.
The way I would describe it is a hole in the wall next to a bunch of very nice places.
Butcher will take out the coin pouch, most of it, in fact, 200 gold of what he was paid, and he'll put it in Six's hands.
What is this for?
I need you to go in there and be a good patron for me.
Buy a bunch of meat?
Yeah, send it to the orphanage or whatever. I don't care. Just, I need them to have it.
Okay.
I'm staying out here. I've talked about it before. They don't recognize me as their son anymore. They're good people. It's just a mother can see through the illusions that I cast. They know.
You want to make sure that they have good business and that the orphans are taken care of.
I'm more concerned about my family's business than I am about the orphans at the moment. It just, whatever you want to do with this money, I just want to make sure it gets to them.
Okay. Wait out here.
All right.
Six sort of straightens herself up and actually makes an effort to look nice. And then
charisma.
She doesn't know how.
Butcher, you can tell she has no idea how to look nice. She does the thing where she kind of brushes her fur and her hair back and goes, "This is all I need to do." And
but before she actually walks in, I'll just be like, don't do that. Just be yourself. And I'll give bardic inspiration.
Okay.
So Six, you walk in and you definitely do see a man who looks over. Haven't served tobacco in a while. We don't have a lot of fish available right now, but we recently slaughtered a cow. We have plenty of meat.
It's okay. Sure. I'd love to try some. She sort of jingles the pouch to denote that she has money.
Oh, excellent. That is a lot more coin than I was expecting. Would you like the entire cow? We recently slaughtered it. It is very fresh.
Yes, I'm actually looking for catering, if you think that your business can accommodate it.
We have recently come in contact with a couple of husbandry farmers out that are giving us chickens and cows. Yes, what kind of catering?
There's an orphanage. What's that?
Sorry, I was just going to briefly interrupt to say that Butcher casts invisibility on himself and is trying to look in through the window.
You're watching this interaction happen.
There's an orphanage in the out-of-character Umbra district?
Correct.
There's an orphanage in the Umbra district, Mother Marigold's. The association that I work with wants to provide food for the children that live there. There are many demi-humans, and so their dietary requirements, that Six wouldn't say that. So the kind of food they eat is different. I was told that this is one of the best butchers in town.
Oh, you're looking for... I've always been telling people we need to start serving more in the Umbra district because a lot of you can only eat meat, and that's so rare with humans. We mostly just... Everywhere else is about bread and fruit. Yeah, very least we can... Mother Marigold? Never heard of it.
You can't miss it. She gives a description of it. She's been there.
Roll persuasion. You can add your bardic.
I am going to add my bardic to make it as high as possible. What is it, 1d8?
Yes, I believe so.
22.
Yeah. That is quite a travel, and that does mean that we have to figure out exactly when we're going to be closed while doing these catering job, and because it's meat, oftentimes needs to be as fresh as possible. It's going to be a hefty fee. Are you sure you can pay for that?
I understand. I'm willing to accommodate it. My interest is in the meat being of the best quality for the orphans.
Well, you came to the right place. Let me see how much going you have, and we can work with exactly the logistics of this. I can't promise you that we can always serve cow, but we can definitely get some chickens over there.
Cows, chickens, fish, whatever else. She sort of... Are there other people in the shop?
Not currently.
Wanting to make an impression, she spills out... Like, she sets the bag on the counter and then spills out some of it to show that this is a lot of gold.
You can see his eye kind of looks towards the amount of gold that's spilled out. I'm sure we can come up with a really good deal for this.
Awesome. I'll be very pleased.
Assuming that sort of just ends up happening, Butcher at some point feels satisfied that the job is going to be done, and he'll just like write down like a scribbled note, assuming he has access to a small piece of paper.
Easily, yeah.
And he'll, wherever Six and him were standing, he'll kind of take one of his axes and impale the note into like a post. And he'll leave without saying goodbye.
Makes sense. Six, this conversation and actual business dealing does take some time, like almost a full hour, because, you're actually having to hammer out work and how all this is going to happen and when's reoccurring payments going to happen. Like, this is not your strong suit, and you have to try your best to make sure that, all this makes sense. I hope Rev is okay with all of this.
Yep.
So when you leave, all you do see, you don't see Butcher anywhere, just the axe with a note on it.
I do drop that I represent a guild called Shield of the Outcast, and that we are trying to, like, feed and help underprivileged communities.
You can definitely tell that's, like, when he actually writes down a name, because now he knows who to bill.
I also want to set up where, like, I don't want to get billed in advance and have, like, a sudden 200 gold charge. Rather, will he agree to meet and discuss future dealings after this time is up?
Yeah, he calls it basically a trial period, and
Sure.
He says he'll be happy for the amount of money you gave him to do this for 3 months.
Okay, that sounds awesome. And then, everything done, I'll go read the note.
It just says very bluntly, "Thanks, don't get yourself killed or I'll cry."
I destroy the note. With a smile. Like, Butcher.
And that seems like a fine place to end, knowing that next week I'll immediately bring back Leo.
Yay, my other character.
So I hope everyone had a good session. Is everyone good for next week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Okay, then we are on for next week as well.
Shall I cut the string?
Go ahead and end it.
All right, thanks for coming, everybody. Thanks for enjoying the session. Have a good week.